A lot of new faces along the front, and one guy on defense that's really stood out, a newcomer this year, is Corey Faulkner. He's a sophomore. He'll play strong side linebacker, and he has been a force this year for us, and we're really proud of the guys that have stepped in and contributed.
The head man at Houston talks about the difference of this Oakland team versus last year's.
Not much different. They've got athletes all over the field. They like to run the football, and then they like to throw it when you least expect it. So they got a lot of different weapons that they like to try to get the ball, and they do a good job of getting it to their guys. And then Kyler does a good job of distributing the ball in the throwing game. So it's going to be a challenge for sure.
Now let's focus in on the Oakland Patriots. And Oakland coach Kevin Creasy talks about the rematch of last year's state title game with the Mustangs of Houston.
I think it's pretty neat that the two teams from last year are back, and that's kind of a testament to what a great job Coach Thomas has done at Houston. And, of course, we got really good juniors last year that have made it back as seniors. I see a lot of familiar faces for Houston on here. They're heck of players, and our senior class has done a good job of getting back. There was a lot of tough times this year. We've had a lot of big-time injuries, and, of course, 6 times we've been behind this year, and a lot of people doubted that we'd make it back, but I think that kind of speaks to our culture and when we get beat around for about 3 quarters. So this is one of the most proud bunches I've ever been associated with. They keep fighting back and trying to get back to Chattanooga.
Coach Creasy talks about how you separate the motivation for revenge versus the obvious motivation for winning a state title, or do you really do that at all?
A lot of people use revenge to get yourself fired up. You know, if you got to get fired up to play in a state championship, you're probably playing the wrong sport. At the end of the day, we're just here to win our final game. That's one of our big goals every year, win your last game. And, you know, like we mentioned earlier, you know, we've been there, I think 7 out of 10 times. This is our 5th time in a row. And, you know, it definitely hits different whenever you leave and you don't win. So it doesn't matter if it's week 12 or week 14, if it's week 15, if you lose that last game, it's just one of those things that kind of, you know, sets with you, and, you know, it makes everybody ticked off.
The Oakland Patriots have had to overcome some adversity this season. Coach Creasy talks about that, trailing in 6 games, dropping a home game in overtime to Ravenwood, and significant injuries.
Yeah, you know, there was a few moments where we were questioning just, you know, how far we might get in the playoffs, and then, you know, maybe if we'd even get in the playoffs, but went through a lot, and, you know, just had a kid get his cast removed off his arm yesterday. So we've had a broke arm, a torn ACL, a couple separated shoulders, concussions, all the things that you kind of go through sometimes in football. But, you know, to these guys' credit, man, it hadn't stopped them. They keep coming back. It'd been easy for them to check out and, you know, worry about their future and all that stuff. But, you know, it's kind of a testament to these guys, how much they love each other, how much they love this school and the football program, to play for each other, even though they're hurt. You know, I think I see the same thing out of Houston's team, you know, and I think it's just the culture. I see their quarterback just playing, like I said last year, Tim Tebow, but I've watched him this year. He actually throws it better than Tim Tebow. So I don't know if that's a comparison or not. The dude's tough as nails, and looks like he might have a little brother coming in behind him. So that could be bad news for everybody around Shelby County. But, you know, it's impressive to just watch, you know, him as a leader go in when he has some injuries and play through it and play tough and play this game the way it's supposed to be played. So, you know, I think there's a lot of similarities between us and Houston. Like I said, we both teams have been through a lot to get here and been through a tough path and been playing some tough opponents. And I think it's cool that both of us are playing for a state championship.
Now some thoughts from players on tonight's game. Oakland running back and Mr. Football finalist Craig Tutt says he's excited at the chance to beat the team that ended their season last year with a loss.
Just that redemption game. You know, last year really didn't come out with the outcome that we wanted, so this year we'll change that.
Oakland quarterback Kyler Creasy talks about playing in his 2nd state championship game behind center.
Be able to play in a big game like this, state championship game, is very rare for a lot of high school athletes. So for us to be able to go back again is really big for us in the program. And then being able to play the same team that knocked us out last year, that's really good to, you know, maybe be able to have a redemption game or have a tight game like that. So it's going to be huge for us and the people around us.
Now, Creasy at quarterback last year broke his collarbone in this very championship game. He talks about playing with that fact against the same team this year.
I'll never forget getting hurt in that last game, but that's not something that, I'm going to think of during the game. I think that's something that you just got to play with, move on from, and just see how it can make you better. And I feel like that's what I've tried to do the best I can this year.
Finally, the senior quarterback who grew up in this program, tossing the football around with high schoolers years ago, talks about playing this final season in the state title game with his dad as the head coach.
Like I said earlier, it's a huge game. So obviously I'm blessed to be here. And like he said earlier, we've had a lot of adversity from the beginning of the season to now. And to be able to overcome that stuff with my brothers and then my own dad, it's been good. It's been fun to play in the position. I'm blessed to be in the position I'm in right now. And, there's no better way to end the season with my dad than playing the state championship game and hopefully come out on top this year.
So the stage is set. It's Oakland and Houston for the gold ball and the state championship here in 2024. Hope you'll join us tonight. Our pregame again, 5:30 Murfreesboro time, 6 o'clock kickoff Murfreesboro time. It's a 7 o'clock kickoff at Finley Stadium in Chattanooga, but they're on Eastern time. So keep that in mind. So I hope the Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home scoreboard is kind to the Oakland Patriots tonight. And we're going to shift gears here once again on the Coaches Show. When we come back, we've got boys basketball for the first time this season joining us here for the conversation. And we will have Riverdale, Smyrna, Blackman, followed by Laverne, Oakland, Stewart's Creek, Rockvale, then Siegel and Eagleville before MTCS Cougar Corner, just before the Middle Tennessee basketball doubleheader with Belmont. Stay with us. You're listening to the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro.
Is your car running like a dream, or does it need a little TLC? At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we treat your vehicle like it's one of our own. Let's hear what some customers have to say about Dr. Automotive.
Been coming to them ever since he opened up. Good family. I recommend other people to get them repaired here because I knew they would do it and do it right. Been happy to send people to him because I trust what he does so much.
We're crazy about him. It's all about the doctor.
For quality care you can trust, visit Dr. Automotive in Smyrna. We've got the cure for your car.
At Little Caesars, get a large custom 2-topping pizza for only $7.99 when you order online. Wait, did I just say $7.99? Get out of here! This pizza is only $7.99. No way! This is $7.99? You're joshing me. You're saying this pizza perfection is only $7.99? Well, you're crazy for this. Listen, pirate, stop taking my $7.99 pizza. Choose a large custom 2-topping pizza for the unbelievable price of $7.99 when you order online. Only $7.99. What?
Pizza. Parks Auction. We handle everything.
You have a staff that comes to your home. They tell you what to do. They walk you through it. It's been my experience that what I thought I should get for my home, I got much more for it.
Visit our website at parksauction.com.
Hi there, Parks Auction, 896-4600. Stan Vaught and the Parks Auction team are proud supporters of local high school and MTSU sports.
You've heard people say, you know your work by your name, but there's no better name for residential and business concrete work than Dan France Concrete. From basic slabs to decorative stamping, for your next concrete project, call Dan France Concrete, 615-642-5152.
This is Dan with Dan France Concrete, wishing all Rutherford County student athletes a great season. Study hard, play harder, and be safe.
Trust me, Dan is committed to the community and will offer you a great product. He'll stand behind his work and make sure you're satisfied with every aspect of the work. Dan France Concrete.
Murfreesboro is conducting a special census, and we need your help. Our population has grown since 2020, and more people means more funding for our community. Here's Murfreesboro Mayor Shane McFarland.
The more people that are counted, the more state shared revenue dollars Murfreesboro receives.
Help Murfreesboro get its fair share. Visit murfreesborocensus.com.
Count me in.
Okay, count me in.
And count me in too.
Let's make sure every resident counts. Visit murfreesborocensus.com.
At Middle Tennessee Electric, we see the lines that link us all, illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Because we believe in the power of good energy. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart. And as your family and our region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
The Blue Raiders fan source for officially licensed Middle Tennessee gear is Raider Tees, located at 910 Ridgely Road, behind Chewy's, just off Broad Street.
Time to get out in the cold in style with officially licensed Middle Tennessee stocking caps, coats, jackets, sweats, scarves, and more. If it's blue and white with the Middle Tennessee logo, you can bet the best selection in town is at Raider Tees.
Raider Tees by Ideas Tees, 910 Ridgely Road, off Broad between Chewy's and Chili's.
Pizza.
You can now order Murfreesboro's favorite pizza online at sirpizzatn.com. We've made ordering online a breeze. From sirpizzatn.com, tap on the location nearest you and begin your order for carryout or delivery. You can order the Royal Feast, create your own, spaghetti, calzones, everything right from our online portal at sirpizzatn.com.
Sir Pizza, you made me love pizza again.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
If your old unit needs a tune-up, the professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air service all major brands and even offer same-day service in most cases. Keep your home or business comfortable year-round. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Rheem Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass. Online at PrenticeAllsup.com.
This is Primetime Sports, WGNS Murfreesboro, on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com. The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro, on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Dr. Automotive, the cure for your car. Professional auto repair and maintenance from ASE certified mechanics and master mechanics. Check them out online at autorepairsmyrna.com. I'm Danny Brewer. I'm extremely pleased now to be joined by Riverdale boys head basketball coach Michael Voss, a staple of the industry. Coach Voss, how are you?
I'm good, Danny. How you doing?
Quite well. You know, I mean, we got to think about all the positives. We got the holiday season's here, Coach. We got sunshine out today. It's a great day, right?
No, it is a good day. It's a really good day.
Let's talk a little bit about Riverdale basketball. Let's kind of indoctrinate folks a little bit about what's going on with the Riverdale roster. Tell me a little bit about some of the kids you got and kind of what the makeup of the Riverdale squad is this year.
So right now, when you look, the makeup is we're a lot of sophomores. You know, when we started the season before football guys got back, we were starting 4 sophomores and one junior. We had one senior dressing with us. But everybody else that played, basically, that would check into the game was a sophomore. Now that we've got football guys back, we're still starting the same group right now. You know, we're going to kind of see how things play out here here over the next few weeks, trying to get those football guys back into shape, because obviously it's completely different than football shape is completely different than basketball shape. So they got to kind of get back into it. But we picked up a little bit more age. We've got one more senior that we've added that in Malik Hicks that had transferred from Rockville. You know, Wayman was our junior that was with us. Now we add Braylon Burns to it, who's also a junior, but we're still not adding a ton of age. And so right now what we're kind of fighting at times is we've just got a lack of experience, and the only way to get experience is to play a little bit. So, you know, when you look at our overall roster, we've got those 4 guys, and then we've got 18 sophomores on the roster. You know, we've got them split up. About half of them are playing JV and half of them are starting on varsity, and we just kind of roll it out and go from there. And again, when you look at how our season has gone so far, a lot of it has been we played pretty good teams. And again, just that lack of experience has gotten us with in all of our games right now. We're just kind of trying to figure out our way and figure out how we need to play from a there's a big step up between being a freshman and a sophomore and being a junior and senior. And so we're trying to figure out how to match that intensity. At times we haven't. At times we've been fairly good. And then there's times where, like last night, you look and we get exposed a little bit because of some of the things we do.
Coach, talk a little bit about, you mentioned the football guys. Used to be old school, you always had that. Nowadays, kids don't play. There's not as many multi-sport athletes, especially at the bigger schools. Do you think it's good for kids to play multiple sports?
I think it's great for kids to play multiple sports. I think the problem is now that when you look, like, every sport's year-round. Like, when you look at what we do from a basketball standpoint, we play our season, which is 4 months long. We're practicing every day, but the preseason leading up to it is now all of a sudden more intense. We have our guys in weightlifting every day, and you go to the floor almost every day to do some type of conditioning. We have our 3-man groups now that we do stuff with, and then once you get into the spring, it's the same thing. You get 8 days of spring practice. You get all of June and July if you want to practice, and you can play in June. I mean, there's not really any time off. And then when they're not playing with us, they're playing AAU with somebody. You look at football. Like, football has gone from basically those guys would start in May, and they would most of the time in June split time. July all the way up until the end of their season they were going, and then they would start conditioning. But now they've added 7-on-7 in, and all these kids are going all over the place and playing. Same thing with baseball. There's fall leagues now. If you feel like they're playing up until November. One of the things that I think has hurt our athletes is the fact that all sports are year round. So we're all obviously pushing our sport, but it hurts participation some because of that, because they feel, well, if I like football better than basketball, then I'm going to spend the majority of the time in that. Even in the off season, like, that's where I'm going. If they're basketball first, like, they could, they spend time focusing on the ones that they like, which is understandable. But at the same time, I do think that it hurts participation some. I got the most football players that I've ever had this year since I've been at Riverdale, and it's a good thing. It's a really good thing, but we play the first 4 weeks the first 4 weeks of the season. We practice with the group we have, and then all of a sudden they get done, which, I was hoping they'd be playing today. I'm okay with not getting those guys back until middle of December. That's just kind of the way it is. But at the same time, when you throw them back in, like, it does kind of, you have to start reintroducing everything. And so that's where I think we have hurt ourselves a little bit with these two-sport athletes, because there's just not as many left anymore. And it's sad. I hate that that's the way it is. When I was growing up, I played 5 different things. I ended up playing soccer in college. Like, that's just the guys that play multiple sports are getting fewer and fewer and far between, and I think it's hurting all of our athletics.
Let's talk about the kid you mentioned, Malik Hicks. I'm glad to know that he's playing basketball for you, because his daddy was a pretty good two-sport athlete. Mm-hmm. His granddaddy was, I don't know if you know about his granddaddy, Michael Hicks, starting point guard for Austin Peay. When they went to the Sweet 16, he made Dick Vitale stand on his head, because Dick Vitale said, there's no way Austin Peay's winning. I'll stand on my head if they do. Doggone it if Michael Hicks didn't lead them into a victory there and into the Sweet 16. So you got to be excited about that kid, because he does have some experience.
He's got some experience. He does, and I coached his dad for a couple of months. I was still at Laverne when Mike was a freshman. And that was right before I took the assistant's job at Blackman that I ended up getting and staying at for a while. So I knew Mike already, and so last spring when he transferred in, Mike got in touch with me and we talked, and Malik went with us a little bit this summer. Did some things, but again, you're talking about in June. There's football 7-on-7s. There's all kinds of stuff. So we had a little bit of rhythm. And he's been back a week, and the thing I get on that I talk to Malik about is, look, we got to get you in shape. Like, you're going to have to learn how to practice basketball again. Like, it's part of it. And he's come in and he's tried to be good. Now, he's again, when you look last night, like he's trying to guard quick guys and guys that are in basketball shape, and he ain't there yet, and so he gets frustrated a little bit at times. But at the end of the day, like, he's going to be okay. His experience is going to help us a lot with the experience he had coming from Rockville, and it's just going to take a little bit of time to get that experience developed and out.
Coach, talk a little bit about what you got coming up. I know that you've like 5 games into it, 6 games into it now, right?
We're 6 games into it. You know, you look at our schedule. We played really good teams. You look at our schedule coming up. Next week we've got Smyrna at our place. Then we go to Station Camp. Then the week after that, we play the Tennessee Heat, which is a homeschool team, which is a really good team. And then in our Adidas shootout, we're playing Rossview, who's coming off a state tournament appearance. And then we play Innsworth the second day, which everybody knows about Innsworth. And now they've got the 7-foot kid that's transferred in. Like, we've got a very, very tough schedule coming up. And then after we get done with the Christmas break, we've got Hickman County and Franklin, 2 more state tournament teams. So, like, we've got a gauntlet in front of us. And the thing that I've talked to the guys about, and you know, it gets frustrating sometimes with them, and I understand it, but we're playing people who eventually that's where we want to be. And when you, again, look at our youth and look at who we are, we have to learn how to play at this level. If we really want to accomplish some of the goals we talk about, like we talk about being able to win districts and winning regions and what it's going to take to do it. Well, to do it, we're going to have to be able to play against teams like what we're playing. We're going to have to be able to compete and find ways to win those games. And when you're young, you get exposed early. That's part. That is just part of it. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to help us from a standpoint of, you're not going to be able to say we haven't played people. You're not going to be able to say that we haven't played some of the best teams in the state. Like, it's going to help our development. It's going to help our future.
That's Michael Voss. He's building something over there at Riverdale. If you want to see some good basketball, head on over there to Warrior Country and check out the Riverdale Warriors. Coach Voss, we appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, Danny. I appreciate it.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Dan France Concrete, a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. That's Dan France Concrete.
Craig's Tax Service.
We perform tax preparation, individual tax returns, corporations, partnerships, and all your payroll bookkeeping needs.
Brandon Craig with Craig's Tax Service.
We fulfill all your tax preparation needs from individual returns to corporations and handle any of those scary letters you may get from the IRS.
Craig's Tax Service at 142 Heritage Park Drive. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
We're proud to support all Rutherford County athletes.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
Franklin's Printworks has been in Murfreesboro for over 25 years. We are a full-service commercial printer, everything from business cards, brochures, booklets to banners. My name is Jeff Carlton. I handle sales and marketing for Franklin's Printworks. We hear a lot people who have been working with printers on the internet, had issues, and they know that if we're working with someone local, that A, they know where to find us, and B, they know that we'll take care of it because we have to take care of our neighbors. Our website is franklinsprinting.org.
Winners Trophies can help you with customized awards for any occasion. Owner Kelly Hockenberry continues to provide awards for sports teams, churches, recognition awards, and more. Call Winners Trophies at 904-6002. That's 904-6002 for the best in quality, service, and pricing. You can also email Kelly, winnerstrophy@comcast.net. That's winnerstrophy@comcast.net. Any award for any occasion. Winners Trophies, 904-6002.
We're at Rick's Barbecue on Warrior Drive, talking with Anne Marie Brents.
When people walk in and they're like, tell me what's good, I usually tell them the loaded baked potato, which is a fully loaded potato with the butter, sour cream, cheese, bacon, and chives, and then we put meat on top of it.
At Rick's, they use the largest potatoes you can find.
Every Tuesday we run a special on the loaded potatoes. We call it Tater Tuesday, and we sell a lot of potatoes.
Barbecue, smoked chicken, ribs, they've got it all at Rick's Barbecue, 212 Warrior Drive, and online at ricksbbq.com.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Rick's Barbecue, serving up the best smoked barbecue ribs and many local favorites on Warrior Drive. Locally operated by Anne-Marie Brents and the Lanning family. I'm Danny Brewer. Welcome back to the Coaches Show. You know, I'm happier than the doggone hog and slop right now because I've got Bulldog leader Omar Smith here with me. Coach, how are you this morning?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Good. You know, I just talked with Coach Voss, who I know you're buddies with. It's a great time of year.
Oh, yeah.
We got the holidays. We got basketball. We got football. We got sunshine. I mean, come on.
Can't beat that.
That's right. Yeah, so life in Bulldog country pretty good so far, I think. Early season. Talk to me a little bit about what has happened so far this year. I know you guys have had some success.
So right now we're sitting at 4-2. We started off hosted Centennial Open Night, which was a very good basketball team, very well coached. Had a halftime lead in that game. Eventually lost it by about 12. Excuse me. Played my alma mater, CSAS, that same week, beat them. Then we had Father Ryan the next week, which, you know, you playing against a 6'11" Division I signee, that makes a world of difference. Lost that one, and then since then we've won 3 straight since then. So we're starting to get it together, but I mean we still got a ways to go.
Talk a little bit about the front line. I know there's some added size on the Bulldog roster this year. Tell me a little bit about the front line you got going on there.
Yeah, so we've got we got a kid, Jordan Clay Joseph. He played for us last year. He didn't play much. He got hurt. He's about 6'7". We had the kid Fujiri Louis Jean transferred in from Laverne. He's about 6'8". Raw talent. We're still working with him, but you can tell he's starting to pick things up and it's starting to make sense for him. Caden Matthews transferred in from Stooge Creek. He's 6'6". He's actually more of a guard than anything else, but you know we can kind of put him in the post a little bit. And then we have another kid, Corey Daniel, who's about 6'4", 6'5". He can play in the post as well. So we've got some pretty good size that we can utilize.
The game overall has changed a bit since the eons ago when I was involved with basketball. Can it still be an inside-out game, Coach? I mean,
I think it can. It's just so, like you said, it's changed so much. Everybody wants to shoot threes. I mean, I talked about Caden Matthews. I mean, he's our best three-point shooter percentage-wise. You know, he's 6'6". When I was in high school, our 6'6" kids played post. And never came out the paint.
They better not shoot the ball outside 15 feet.
Probably our second best shooter is Corey Daniel, who's 6'5". So, I mean, two of our biggest players are our best shooters on the team. So, the game has definitely changed, but we try to push them to, understand that, at the end of the day, you have something that can't be taught. So, being 6'6", 6'5", 6'7", whatever the case may be, I don't mind you shooting the three, but you also got to go get the easy bucket sometimes too.
Coach, I know that you've got size, but you're guard driven, right? I mean, because you got some good guards too. Tell me a little bit about your guards.
So, of course, everybody knows about the McCarver brothers, Tyreek and Zay Keys. So they're back. Tyreek was our second leading scorer last year. If you've listened to any games, he was probably one of our better football players. The kid's just a natural athlete and just, does what he's supposed to do. Very hard to stay in front of, very shifty. And so teams struggle with that as well. And then his younger brother, Zay Keys, who's probably one of the is just an ultimate competitor. Sometimes I don't know that Zay Keys realizes he's about 5'7", 5'8", because he played like he's about 6'2" sometimes. Jan Kinzer, who was our leading scorer going into last night, is about a 6'1", 6'2" guard. We brought him back as well. So, like I said, we've got a lot of guards. We got guys on the bench who've started games, and we've got guys. Devon Rourke. I think he was our second leading scorer the first game, and then last night he didn't even play a lot. Not because of anything that he did. It's just the flow of the game because we're so guard heavy.
So let's talk a little bit about the McCarver boys. I know I saw them play quite a bit last year. I don't think they've met a shot that they didn't like.
Oh, that's true.
Which can be good news and bad news. So tell me a little bit about that because, like I said, they're not scared to shoot it.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny you say that because there was a point last night where Tyreek got the ball in the corner for an open three and he didn't shoot it. And people know they scout. That's probably the weakest part of his game. And I told him, I said, you have to shoot that shot. You have to. People are going to sag off of you and make you shoot the ball, so you got to shoot the shot. But they both have done a good job of just kind of running the show and starting to get other guys involved. Tyreek came into the season. One of the things he told me is he wanted to average about 6 or 7 assists per game, and he's right below that right now. So he's making an effort to try to get other guys involved now.
Well, the team concept, I mean, as you know, that's how you win, right, Coach?
Absolutely. You know, I tell the guys, I know you want to shoot, you want to drive, but, you know, if you make 2 or 3 passes, get the ball moving, get the defense moving, everything that you're wanting to do, it will be there eventually. You know, we don't have a shot clock, so it's not like we're having to get the shot up in the first, 10 seconds. You know, just move the basketball and see what happens.
Talk about rebounding. Pat Riley had a saying, no rebounds, no rings. So you got size. How do you like your rebounding?
If I had to give it a grade right now, I'd give it a C-. Considering our size, I think we should be better at rebounding, but it's something that we're preaching and we're pushing and we're working on it. And guys, like I said, guys are starting to buy in. I guess when you're not used to doing certain things, somebody tells you to do it and you may go do it once, and our guys have to realize, okay, I did it once, now let me do it again, and let me do it again after that. And so we're getting better, but, not anywhere near where we want to be in that category for sure.
Because rebounding is work. I mean, you develop position. You have to think about it, too, as far as that kind of stuff. So it's not just, hey, let the ball go up and I'm going to jump over everybody.
Right, and I think one of the good things our guys, a lot of kids don't understand, we play great defense, but if you don't rebound, then your defense doesn't matter. Because, and you look at the game now, 90% of the time when the team gets an offense rebound, the ball gets kicked out for a wide open three-pointer, and those are daggers. And so, just preaching to the guys that you have to go secure the rebound. That's how you finish the defensive possession.
So let's talk a little bit about defense. You like what you guys do on defense, because defense is work and it's about getting after somebody. So tell me about your defensive mentality.
That's another area we're still working through. I was pleased last night the way we ended the game. We didn't start the game very well defensively. But, we at one point we were down, I think Overton went up 55-50 with 3 minutes left, and we outscored them 15-5 to end the game in the last 3 minutes. So, I think the light may have come on at that point, and guys clamped down and realized if we would just play defense, it will make a difference. We got some guys, especially in our sophomore class, that they really don't care about scoring. I have a kid, Corey Weathers. He wants to just go out and guard you for 94 feet. And, if he doesn't score, he doesn't care. He just wants to rebound and play defense. And luckily, those sophomores are leaders, and they're starting to push our older guys to have that same mentality as well.
Because at the end of the day, you just can't rely on them not making the shot, right?
Right. You have to make something happen. You have to have an impact on what they're trying to do as well.
So talk about offense. Obviously, you got bigs, you got guards. You want to play up tempo, or you think you're versatile enough you can play half court too? Tell me what you want to see out there.
I think we're versatile enough to do both. We can run. We can play in the half court. I mean, we're averaging about 61, 62 points a game. So we've done both. We've got out and run. We've walked it up the floor. We can we got enough versatility in our roster that we can do that.
So, Coach, talk about what you got coming up short term here.
So we've got Riverdale on Tuesday. I spent 3 years there as Voss's assistant, so that'll be a fun night. Then we've got Valor Collegiate on Friday, and then Lead Academy, who, if you know anything about Metro basketball, they are very much improved over the last couple of years. They got a kid, AJ Petway, that's really good. So that's going to be a challenge. And then we go to Kentucky over the break. I've got a tournament in Elkton, Kentucky, which is about 20 minutes north of Clarksville. And then we'll go down to Chattanooga to Ray County for a tournament as well in January. So we got a busy schedule coming up.
Do you like the holiday in the tournaments and stuff? That's good for your team, right?
It is. I like to try to, find some time for them. I'm a big family guy, so I want them to spend time with their families. And so even both of those two deals of the break, they're both just like one night overstay. So we're not going to be gone, going across the country, things of that nature, because I want the guys to still be at home with their families and enjoy Christmas and just being able to relax and and understanding what life is really all about.
Amen on that one, Coach. So when we talk about what's coming up, the district, I mean, you want to prepare yourself for the district, because the district that you're in is pretty stacked top to bottom.
It is. I was telling somebody last night, it was a 2-horse race last night. I know you like horse racing. So last year it was a 2-horse race. We knew it was Cookeville and Laverne. And this year the field it's wide open this year. I think the bottom teams, us, Lebanon, Wilson Central, and Stewart's Creek, have all vastly improved. And so it's going to be a fun January, because there's no gimmies this year in any gym.
Yeah, well, because the Cigar Mile today, we got 11-horse field, and man, it's flat loaded, and that's the way this is, because you just don't know what's going to happen every night because of the depth of talent.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, those, think about Stewart's Creek, and that's a rivalry game, so that's big, and Laverne's a rivalry game, and with Lebanon, like they bring back everybody. Wilson Central brings back everybody. Cookville brings back one of the best players in the district. We know about Landon Bryan at Laverne, so it's gonna be pretty fun and a little stressful, but we signed up for it, so we're gonna make the most of it and try to position ourselves as best as possible.
Right, but because the district tournament should be extremely fun. Where's the district tournament at this year?
The district tournament this year is at Lebanon.
It's at Lebanon. Okay, all right. So a little bit of a travel for everybody, but still, it ought to be action packed.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
Coach Omar Smith with Smyrna High School. If you want to see some good basketball, get on over there to Bulldog Country because they got lots of good things happening over there. Coach Smith, we certainly appreciate your time, and we absolutely wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Rick's Barbecue, serving up the best smoked barbecue, ribs, and many local favorites on Warrior Drive. Locally operated by Anne Marie Brents and the Lanning family.
I'm Good Neighbor State Farm Agent Celeste Middleton, and I'd love the opportunity to talk to you about the significant rate decrease we're experiencing now. Let me compare coverage and possibly save you hundreds on your home and auto. Call me at 615-895-2700.
Renters, when you combine State Farm Auto and Renters Insurance, you will save money. I'm State Farm Agent Dana Womack, and I'd love to talk to you about combining your auto and Renters Insurance to help you save. Call me at 615-900-0877.
First National Bank of Middle Tennessee.
At First National Bank of Middle Tennessee, we show up and have been for 150 years. Let us show you how we do it. I'm John Dietrich, Senior Vice President, Commercial Lender at the Murfreesboro Gateway office. Let me have the honor of helping you and your family achieve its financial dreams. I am a lifelong resident of this community dedicated to making it better.
First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. We show up for you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 401715.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Experts in joint, bones, and muscles. And with over 65 specialists, TOA has a playbook to get you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life.
How about a fix for your sweet tooth? Donut Country is open 24 hours a day to cure your cravings. They've been serving up the freshest donuts in Murfreesboro since 1978. There's just something different about donuts from Donut Country. Bo and Cindy Davis and their wonderful staff will greet you with a smile, and you'll see all donuts aren't created equal. Fresh donuts anytime you want them 24/7 at Donut Country on Memorial down from Clark. And they're open each morning on Middle Tennessee Boulevard. Check out their Facebook page for specials and promotions. Nothing else compares to Donut Country. Open 24 hours.
Quick, convenient, efficient. 3 words that we all hope to experience when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to bring just that to an industry that's traditionally dictated to the customer when it's time to do business. Whether you're purchasing class pictures in a yearbook, class jewelry, a letter jacket, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience quick, convenient, and efficient. Find out more at jhacompany.com. JHA, your one source for an unparalleled scholastic experience.
This is a paid legal ad.
When a family member is lost as a result of someone else's negligence, the grief can be unbearable. It also leaves you with a lot of questions like, how did this happen? Who's responsible? And is my family going to be okay? That's a lot to go through, but with the law offices of John Day on your side, you don't have to go through any of it alone. We understand what you're going through, and we have the experience to get the answers, justice, and compensation your family deserves. Call the law offices of John Day.
Hello, this is Coy Young at Las Casas Feed Supply. We'd like to welcome you to our door.
Whether you have a quarter acre or several, Las Casas Feed Supply has premium feeds and dog foods you can't find in box stores.
Nutrition is our specialty here at Las Casas Feed.
Plus, every Saturday morning they have a local producer-only farmers market with fresh vegetables, beef, pork, and more.
Customer service and expertise that exceeds your expectations.
Family owned and operated by Coy and Jennifer Young, Las Casas Feed Supply on Barlow Lane, just off Highway 96 East in Las Casas.
Life changes, then it changes again. Hi, I'm Edward Jones Financial Advisor Lee Colvin. A job loss, change in health, or loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure that you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Stop by our office in the Public Shopping Center on South Rutherford Boulevard or give us a call at 615-907-7056 for an appointment. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
The Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by the Murfreesboro Special Census. Counting everyone means more state dollars to improve roads, parks, and services. Fill out the fast, easy, and secure form at murfreesborocensus.com. I'm Danny Brewer. Man, I'm feeling finer than a batch of fresh fried chicken right now because I am joined by Blackman basketball head coach Barry Wertman. A staple. I said Voss is a staple, but this doggone joker, he's the stapler. So, Coach Wertman, how are you this morning?
I'm good, Danny. I'm glad basketball season's back. Great to be here.
Yeah, it is basketball season, and like I talked about with the previous two guys, great time of year right now.
It really is. Everybody's trying to find their team a little bit and sort of see where they are and make some progress, and we're right there with the rest of the basketball community.
Coach, let's talk a little bit about what you've had going on so far. Looks like you've gotten off to a good start, and things are rolling right along at Blackman.
We are. We like where we are. We like our team. We like our chemistry. We like our pieces. We like what we did in the spring, summer, and then really nice fall in our skill development and weight room. And it's sort of, when you got veteran guards and you've got a lot of guys that have been in the program that sort of know what the role definition is good, and players are making progress. So a lot of good things are going on with our basketball program right now. It feels a little bit 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-ish, and that's an exciting place to be in terms of guys that are a little older, experienced, been in the program, and guys that are on the come or being around guys with experience. So that transition with new schools and all the graduation at the same time, and COVID really challenged everybody, and shouldn't make excuses, not excuses all, but just like where our program is, and like the health of our program and where our players are. So excited.
Coach, when did you start at Blackman?
This is year 15.
Year 15. So that we're going to transition that year 15 into, we're horse racing guys. The Cigar Mile is today. There's a horse running in the Cigar Mile that I'm going to correlate to the Blackman program. Pipeline's a front runner. He may take him gate to wire. That's what he hopes to do. He's 20-1 on the morning line. But talk about the pipeline that you have established during your 15-year tenure. Winning breeds winning. You've had lots of success. Talk about how any of that plays into what you got going on now.
Well, we've been very, it really has. I say it all the time. It's an embarrassment of riches of the kids and the coaches and the administrative support staff that all those things come into place if you really want to have a program and committed to winning and committed to excellence. We've had that, so a lot of guys, and it was cool. Reed Pierce was back talking to our team our last game. Isaiah Hart's a staple at a lot of the stuff we do, and I could go on and on about the former players, but they've just been so instrumental in a base of our program, and we've tried to play the right way and hold ourselves to a standard, and I think those things have made our basketball program a program and something that we're proud of, and all that goes back to the commitment of so many players the last 15 years.
Because there is a difference between a team and a program.
Well, we think so. We do. We believe that. We believe the culture of our program is healthy and it's been good, and these guys value. We have a saying. Drink the water, but remember who dug the well. And our guys have a great appreciation for the former players in our program and all the coaches and administrators that have made basketball important, and hopefully giving back to the school community at large.
I know that last night you guys played another program here in Middle Tennessee, Brentwood, who's had a very decorated past. Talk a little bit about what happened last night against Brentwood. I think y'all beat them pretty good.
We did. We've had our team is playing well. The key to a veteran team is, can you play to a standard and all the nuances of the game continue to improve and get better, and we did that, and we've done that to this point. We'll see where it leads to in January, February, March. Can continue to get better, but Brentwood's a great program, and they've got some really, really nice players. They came in undefeated, and I think they're a team that will do a lot of good things. So it's a quality win, and man, everybody played extremely well last night, and they've played extremely well the entire year. So I'm excited about where we are.
Yeah, well, Coach, you mentioned something about your guard play. At any level, guard play is one of the keys to any team, right?
You have to have good guard play. I'm so proud of everybody in our program development they've all made. So I'm here to sing the praises of our entire guys. Those McDonald boys have made such a jump, and at Christian Johnson has had an unbelievable career and a great game for us last night. I can go on and on about all the players in our program. Mike Bass, one of our wings, has been amazing, and Dyson Elam. But our backcourt is. If they'll take care of the ball, which is a big challenge because we asked a lot out of our guards over the years, they can continue to take care of the ball. They play off each other well. It's a really good backcourt, and Garrison and Flowers. So those guys they know how to play, and they know how to play the game cerebrally. They got a lot of talent. They're playing with a great purpose. They'll guard you. Last night, both of them rebounded down. A lot of the nuances of the game that you have to do against changing defenses. Both of them are coaches' sons, so they got just a great feel and understanding of the game. And they like I say, pace of the game, basketball plays, making others better. They did a lot of those things, and they've done them all this year, starting with our great play at the over at Centennial for playing three really good teams. So I'm excited what backcourt play can do for our team this year.
Talk a little bit about Elam and Flowers, because those are a couple of kids who have seen a lot of action over the last few years. And you talk about experience. I mean, those kids have had a lot of minutes on the floor.
They have. We ask a lot out of them, as I said earlier, and the game has slowed down to them. And what's really good is they one of them is a power point and drags you to the rim and uses a lead with his shoulder and Garrison Eden, and he can get to a spot and create a little space like Trent Gibson and get a shot, and he sprays the ball really good. He can spray it with peripheral vision to both wings. He can make the pocket pass. He can make the cover pass. He can create contact and absorb it and score. He's a good on-ball defender. He's got a high level of intensity and toughness. And Braden Flowers is just a great dribbler and has the escape dribble. And gotten a floater into the varsity game now where he made some really nice plays. He knows how to attack the broken floor and make plays for himself and others. And he also has a nice understanding as a coach's son when not to do that and bounce it out or arc it out. They're both great post feeders in our high-low. Competitive guys, good in the film room, understand nuances of the game. So that's collectively, there's a lot of good backcourts, and we understand that. But collectively, boy, I like to go to the floor with those two guys every night, and I know our players do as well. Have a lot of trust in those guys.
Talk about your ability to shoot the ball. I know at times over the last few years, Blackman's been a little bit challenged as far as shooting the basketball. You've always found ways to score, but talk about how you've developed some shooters.
Well, I don't know. It's amazing. We played so efficient and so well offensively for 12 or 13 years. I guess we sort of took it for granted. And then when you play young guys, 3 years ago made that commitment to start these a lot of freshmen and sophomores through almost had to, with the growth and schools opening and whatnot. But man, they just development of those guys in the off season. And then we're playing more inside out, so the game development of our bigs with Keller Jackson, Christian Johnson, and Jalen McDonald. Excuse me. Those three guys have really made the game a little bit easier for our guards to get what I call rhythm threes and shots. And I just think we've sort of found a little magic formula, a little bit more of a formula to play more efficient offensively, and the game has slowed down to our guys, and it's nice because boy, it's been a challenge offensively to get it in the goal, and we still got a little bugaboo at the free throw line, but we couldn't put the state champs away. Last year's reigning state champs away in double overtime. We missed 5 free throws down the stretch, so that's an area we got to improve. But we are much more efficient. We've always taken good care of the ball, so I knew it would come, but it's just nice to see us scoring it more freely and easily this year. We thought that happened last year, but man, it's nice to see, and it obviously makes the game more enjoyable for all to watch and play.
Christian Johnson, talk a little bit about him. I mean, he's been another kid who's been a bell cow for you.
He's unbelievable. I tell you what, he made more nuanced plays last night than I've ever had a kid play. He met the ball it's little things like he caught the ball, met the ball against the changing defenses, and it's a lot of players don't understand how to catch the ball with their inside pivot foot, so you can pivot away from the defense. You got to, based on where the defense is when they're trapping. So he caught it, he met it, he pivoted. He knows how to throw diagonal passes away, one dribble pickups, attack X5 and get passes for Jalen for dunks. He was just phenomenal, and he was comfortable in press-O, hit first cutter, second cutter in press-O. Just such and confident with the ball and press offense, and you have to have that. We ask a lot of our guards, but you have to have that. So he did a lot of things. He X's and U's and free throws and keeps balls alive, and talk about nuanced plays that he makes. But and I'm able to. We got some guys that are a little bit more that get their feelings hurt a little bit more, so you can just go through him to talk to them, and everything just bounces off him. He winks at me, so he just got a great love for our program in the game, and he's made great progress. And man, he's a key to what we've done.
Big kid that knows how to use his body. I mean, fundamentals, right?
He is. He can't. I kid him. He can't jump over the Sunday paper, but he has gotten the Kevin McHale and the angles, and he's always a second off the floor, and he's crafty around that goal offensively. Gets guys in foul trouble, and he always adjusts. A kid got him last night, 6'7" kid. And he just found a way to adjust. He's a great high ball screener and short roll guy. So he just does so many things with cleverness and getting his body right and just playing the game with purpose, and just a huge key to what we do.
Coach, we're going to finish this up with, we got to do some handicapping here because we love the horse racing. The Cigar Mile today at Aqueduct. We mentioned Pipeline. He's 20-1 on the morning line. Tell me who you like there in the Cigar Mile.
Cigar Mile is a race we've always liked, and a lot of good horses. But yeah, I in honor of Rick, in honor of the great Rick Ensel, I'm gonna go with Bookham Dano. He always told me that. So anytime I was around him, and don't know a lot about the horse, but the name jumped out to me, and I do. I like Bookham Dano today.
Bookham Dano out of the one hole, ridden by Red Ortiz Jr. I think he's got a real shot. He's a live one, Coach. I'm telling you.
Okay, love the name. I'm going with him today.
Bookham Dano, you got it. There you go. Straight from Barry Workman, mastermind at Blackman. Get over there and see the Blaze if you want to see some good quality basketball. Head over to Blackman High School. Coach, appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck.
Also, hey, I'm going to wish Oakland football good luck tonight. Represent the community well.
There you go. You know they will. The Coaches Show is brought to you by the law offices of John Day, providing superior legal representation to injury victims and their families. Find out more at johndaylegal.com.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
Whether it's the blazing heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter, let the Rheem Pro professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Conditioning on West College Street keep your home or business comfortable year-round. We service all major brands and in most cases offer same-day service. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Rheem Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass.
Are you tired of feeling like just another number with your insurance provider? At Rayburn Insurance Agency in Smyrna, Agent Rick Hall prides himself on offering personalized service that puts you first. Every client's needs are unique. From personal home and auto coverage to tailored business insurance, Rick Hall's got you covered. Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency in Smyrna, where you're more than just a policy number. You're a neighbor.
Head over to J. Mullins Jewelry to check out their selection of rings, watches, custom designed jewelry, and much more. They're a local business located at 352 West Northville Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro. They have gifts for all occasions, weddings, graduations, anniversaries, whatever you need, you can find it at J. Mullins Jewelry. That's at 352 West Northville Boulevard or online at mullinsjewelry.com.
Craig's Tax Service at 142 Heritage Park Drive offers complete tax preparation, financial, and bookkeeping services.
This is Brett Craig with Craig's Tax Service. From personal tax preparation to business bookkeeping, payroll, and taxes, at Craig's Tax Service, our staff is here to help.
Get help with your taxes. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
As a former Siegel Star football player, I know the importance of the high school sports experience. Good luck to all county student athletes.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we're committed to providing local car owners with top-notch auto repair services. Let's hear what some customers have to say about Dr. Automotive.
I just really appreciate Danny and his whole team. I always feel like I'm going to get great service and the right outcome.
You just don't find any better people.
He's always been very good.
We've got the cure for your car. Dr. Automotive, keeping your car running smoothly mile after mile. Visit our website, smyrnaautorepair.com.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
Our Coaches Show brought to you by Middle Tennessee Electric, serving our community by providing affordable, reliable, and safe electricity. Online at mte.com. Talking Laverne boys basketball with the head coach, Tony Rutland. Coach, good morning, sir.
Good morning, and thank you for having me for this season.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to have you here, and we've got another year, but I haven't had the chance on the air to at least talk to you about last year, and seeing some of the fruits of that labor and the hard work and building the program. It kind of gets you to maybe even being the hunted the next year too, right?
Yeah, we had a great season last year. We made a great run, and that's what I tell the guys. Hey, last year was last year, but we do have a lot of guys that came back from that season, and that's something where we want to go. I mean, just to have that feeling when we stepped out on the court at MTSU, the Glass House. Me as a coach, I felt like I was a player again, and that's something that, I want to go back to, and I think they do too.
Seeing that the finals was made up of teams that you played all year, and the team that you barely lost to in the first round, so right there,
Yeah, and, it went back to details, not taking nothing away from Independence. They had a great year. I think it was their year to win. I mean, they built that team up, and but it was details for us. Anytime you shoot over 70% from the three, maybe 100% from the three, we shot great from the three in the first half, and you're down 12. It was tough, but we allowed two players to make a total of 5 threes in the second quarter, and you take that away, and then who knows what the outcome would have been.
Well, I was just looking over information about your team, and you mentioned those familiar names, and having some of those pieces still there will help you continue to build the program.
Yeah, the future's bright at Laverne, man. One thing that I give the guys credit is they're developing and they're learning every year, and I'm trying to allow them to learn and play and give them some fundamentals that I used to learn when I was in college and a professional level. So, I'm hard on them right now. So hopefully by January or February, we'll be clicking on all cylinders.
Well, last night, I believe it was, played Franklin.
Thursday.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't play last night.
No.
This time of the year, it's not Tuesday, Friday all the time,
right?
Landon Bryant had 27 in that game for you, and also earlier in the week had 10 in the game versus Independence. So you've played a lot of Williamson County teams lately.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting ourselves ready. I think I give my guys credit again. I try not to shy away from a lot of easy games, as they say, but, to prepare us for January and February, we have to go try to play one of the toughest schedules in the state. And I think we put ourselves in that situation playing Pope John Paul. We go to Arkansas. We play, Jonesboro, who is always a state contender. We also played Independence and Franklin. So, I mean, the guys are really coming through. So, we played Franklin on the road, which is always tough. We had a lot of road games, but playing at Franklin in a hostile environment, to lose by only 4, we had an opportunity to win in both games, Independence and Franklin. But
that Independence game was overtime, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And it really, to me, we had the game, but again, I think it was mistakes by guys who really haven't played a lot. And I think we've gone through this process before, like last year and the years in the past. But we made some mistakes and we learned from it. And, we got better defensively the next game. But, I mean, Christian Brown is I see why he's the number one player. And, I give all my bigs credit. Tarsky Jones, Cam Samuels, they did a great job. He made 4 field goals, but he shot 10 for 18 from the free throw line. So that's where it was. But we gave ourselves a chance to win, and, we take it and move on. We'll see them again and maybe possibly a state, championship matchup.
Mm-hmm. We're talking here with Laverne coach Tony Rutland. Steven Sherman is another one of those familiar names, and Bryant and Sherman have been kind of the steady force offensively, and but talk about some of the new additions that we might see for Laverne.
Well, it's really not new additions. It's just more of guys stepping up. Tarsky Jones is a forward that, he's a junior. He's been playing. He's probably like one of our top scorers in the paint. He's doing a really good job on both ends of the floor. He had a bad summer where he was injured. So right now he's really going through his summer process of getting back in shape and playing. And right now he's starting to catch his second wind. Very aggressive, physical, down low, has a good touch. We have Jason Amir, who is a senior, has a good touch. He's a big. AJ Wright, who is a big for us. They're juniors. But, we also have Cam Samuels, who's one of our Mr. Everything. Caleb Samuels, who's going to be stepping in for Zy Lanier, our point guard. He's starting to get game experience. He's going to have his ups and downs, which we know. But, it's a process, So those guys are really starting to step up. And, as overall as a team, I really like where we're at. We're young still, even though I got Landon, who's a senior, and Cam is a senior, but everybody else is juniors and sophomores and freshmen. So we're trying to find a niche and trying to find our role as far as how this team is concerned.
Well, and that's what you do this time of the year. When making Laverne's first ever state tournament run last year, and I just think back to all of those great Laverne teams that just couldn't get there, and sometimes success builds upon success, and that starts a tradition. You can look at the Oakland teams of Randy King and the Barry Workman teams of Blackman, and so that is a good thing. But you always know that this time of the year, you don't want to necessarily play your best. No. You want to be playing your best in February and March.
Yes, and this is the time where we put our guys in tough situations. So now we can prepare ourselves, different situations in practice scenarios, get guys repetition in game-like situations, whether we're down or we're up, the speed of play, different plays. So once we get that going and we can click on all cylinders, I think it'll be pretty good. But again, from my start, only winning 4 games from my first year till now.
Yeah.
We're starting to build the foundation, and I think the guys are really understanding, like, it's a process. Our saying is it's a marathon, not a sprint, and that's where we're at. So we're in the first part of our marathon, and hopefully by February, getting down to the stretch, we can have enough energy to go.
We're really just maybe finishing the first mile of that marathon, right now. Tony Rutland with us as we talk Laverne boys basketball here this morning. Talk a little bit about your district. Last year, the district was brutal. And this year, I don't know, it's probably going to be about the same. But I think everybody seems to be, those teams that were maybe at the bottom of the standings last year seem to be a little bit better, a little more even.
I think it goes back to those guys were young. A lot of teams were young, so now they have the experience of playing the great teams from last year, and so they're going to be better this year. Smyrna is definitely going to be better. Stewart's Creek, Wilson Central is going to be better with their new coach, and then Lebanon, who had a tough player that's back for his senior year. So it's up for grabs.
Lebanon was extremely young last year, weren't they?
Yeah, so I believe they have everybody back, and so it's going to be really, really tough because now every team has veterans that been through the situations, been through the trenches. So, again, I think it's just going to be very tough this year.
Yeah, I think of Coach Dowell, and great. You've got a lot of great coaches in the league too, which makes it super competitive. And then when you put the region with it, I mean, it's almost like if you can survive and get there, you've got as good of a chance as anybody.
And that's it. I think Williamson County has one of the toughest districts as well. They're very big, but for Rutherford County in our district, I think those are the two toughest. I mean, you got Metro and stuff like that, but man, if you're battling every day, twice, you're doing something. So I think it's just a matter of us just staying healthy, of course.
Sure.
I think for all the teams, and just maintaining and playing our game.
I did want to make sure I had a little bit of time here to talk about next year, because next year the districts are all different. They're going to be 4-team districts. Yes. You add Blackman to yourself, Stewart's Creek, and Smyrna. It's going to look really, really different.
Yep.
And that Williamson County that you talk about, that's the sectional airtime, so that's going to be super competitive.
It will. I think we're no strangers to Rutherford County. Of course, my first year we had it was just a big district. I don't know how it's going to be as far as games, but I'm pretty sure that everybody will probably play each other, no matter what. If
you have so many non-district games you've got to play,
yeah,
I don't know how you don't.
And it's going to be tough because, again, you have other districts that's probably going to be in district play. So why not play at that time and make it home and away games? But I guess we'll decide that later on. But it's going to be tough, man. You put Blackman in there, they're always going to be methodical. They're going to have their plays. And then you still have, the other teams that we've been facing for years. It's just going to be a good 4-team district. And then competing against other Rutherford County teams is always going to be tough.
But if you think about your regular season, only 6 of those games are district. The rest are non-district, and you've got larger districts around. Yep. They're going to be in play a couple of weeks before you even need to begin.
Yeah, and I think that's just the biggest question. So I don't know if we just combined it and still play early, the other teams in the district, the region, and just – at the end of the day, almost make it a Rutherford County district without being a Rutherford County district.
Yeah. Let's see. Games the next week, what does that look like for you?
We play East Nashville next Friday, and then we turn around and play Antioch the following Tuesday. And I forgot who we – I think after that it might be going into something.
Holiday break,
I think. Holiday break, yeah. And then we have Brentwood and Franklin again.
Yeah.
Wow. At Riverdale's Classic. So again, I'm off looking forward to the tough games. If my guys can withstand all of it, I'm pleased.
Well, we'll have a chance to talk to you right before that Christmas break there, and looking forward to it. Coach, thanks for coming in this morning, and look forward to following the Wolverines this year.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Tony Rutland joining us on the Coach's Show, brought to you by First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. If you're looking for a hometown feel with your bank, turn to First National Bank of Middle Tennessee, offering full-service banking and mortgage services.
Hurry up and try new Little Caesars Crazy Puffs. They're 4 fun-sized puffs packed with layers of pepperoni, cheese, and sauce, and only $3.99. So what are you waiting for? Try them now.
You heard him. We need to go try these new Little Caesars Crazy Puffs right now.
Stop it! Drive like the wind, Debbie. Enjoy delicious new Crazy Puffs on the go for just $3.99. Only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
You've seen the ads out there, companies wanting to buy your home. But why sell yourself short when you can get fair market value? I'm Lisa Patton. If you have an estate to settle or a home to sell, call Parks Auction. We'll work with you to sell your home or property in any condition with no costly repairs on your timeline. Why accept one offer when you can have multiple? You need Parks Auction. We look out for your best interest. Call Parks Auction today. We handle everything.
If you need concrete work done, who would I call? Dan France Concrete.
Here's why. He's local. He attended Walter Hill Elementary, Oakland, and MTSU. He served our community as a school resource officer for 9 years, and he's involved in the community.
This is Dan with Dan France Concrete, wishing all Rutherford County student athletes a great season. Study hard, play harder, and be safe.
Dan France Concrete is a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. Check out danfranceconcrete.com online to see some of their work.
Murfreesboro residents, did you know our city could receive $175 per person each year in state funding? That's why it's important to participate in the special census. This is Mayor Shane McFarland. Listing everyone in your household helps us qualify for more funding to improve roads, parks, and other services. Complete the form online at murfreesborocensus.com or use the prepaid envelope you'll receive in the mail.
Count me in.
Hey, count me in.
And count me in too.
No new taxes, no cost to you, just more to Murfreesboro. Visit murfreesborocensus.com.
At Middle Tennessee Electric, we see the lines that link us all, illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Because we believe in the power of good energy. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart. And as your family and our region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
The Blue Raider fan source for officially licensed Middle Tennessee gear is Raider Tees. T-shirts, caps, sweats in all sizes, designs, colors, children's to plus sizes. Raider Tees has decals and license plates to show everyone your favorite team. Plus, check out their wide selection of Blue Raider art, jewelry, even golf tee markers. Show your Blue Raider pride with the largest selection of Blue Raider merchandise anywhere by shopping Raider Tees, 910 Ridgely Road, just before the bridge over Broad behind Chewy's.
Pizza. You in a hurry for dinner? Well, we've made it even easier to order online at sirpizzatn.com. Tap the location nearest you and begin your carryout or delivery order at sirpizzatn.com. You can choose from our full menu and we'll take care of the rest. A Queen's Feast is calling my name. Order Murfreesboro's favorite pizza online at sirpizzatn.com. Sir Pizza, you made me love pizza again.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
If your old unit needs a tune-up, the professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air service all major brands and even offer same-day service in most cases. Keep your home or business comfortable year-round. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Ring Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass. Online at PrenticeAllsup.com.
This is Primetime Sports, WGNS Murfreesboro, on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com. The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro, on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by JHA Company. That's Josh Houston and Associates. Jewelry, letter jackets, yearbooks, graduation products, much, much more. Find out more about this great local business at jhacompany.com. With us this morning to talk some Oakland boys hoops is the head coach, Dyron Birdwell. And, Coach, it just seems like yesterday we were doing, a coaches show here. So.
Yeah, exactly. It off season definitely goes by fast, but excited for the year, excited for, everything going on at Oakland right now with the renovations, the football team, the basketball team. Just a lot of stuff to be excited about over on Patriot Drive.
Well, that building is huge.
Yeah, for sure. It.
I didn't think. I didn't. That's not the picture I had in mind.
Yeah,
anyway.
me either. Just kind of watching it all kind of come together and see what it looks like and how it's all going to connect. Or it's definitely a fun time, and I'll be interested to see once it's over and how it looks and where we can go from there.
I got to bring this up because, in the preseason, I ask, send me your roster and whatnot. And you always ask me, do you want my pre-football roster, my before football players get back, or, the full roster? So that's just something you become accustomed to, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's a good problem to have.
Sure.
Those guys are winners and getting that habit, and, when you take the Oakland job. They're going to be in state most years right now, and I guess it's been all 4 of my years that I've been there. They've been in state title and won 2, lost 1 last year, and hoping to get a little revenge today or tonight, I guess. And and also I guess I have to do this. Shout out to my alma mater of Macon County High School, making it to their first state football championship game. I guess they're kicking off about right now. But, yeah, definitely a fun time. I think,
Coach Creasy disciple, by the way.
Yeah, Kyle Shoulders. Yeah, I've known him. We went to the same church back home since, we were born, basically. Yeah. So, but, yeah, should be a fun day down at Chattanooga. But, yeah, as far as our roster, I think we're missing – 5 guys right now. Chase Bandy, of course, senior, Matthew Moore, junior, Valen Henderson, and Kamani Bass are sophomores, and then Isaiah Levy's a freshman. So, it's always interesting because people ask me, like, well, this kid ain't on your roster. Well, it's because I haven't seen him yet, but I will about the second week of December, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, well, and that really makes the importance of what you do at Christmas time in the early January very important for your district run.
Yeah, right now we've got a lot of guys that are going to play even when football comes back, but you're also trying to build some depth and see what you have before you add these kids that have been at football since July, that you haven't seen since summer camp in June, and figure out how much they've worked on their game, or where they can help you, or what we need help with, and offensively, defensively, and just trying to find ways to keep playing well or to play a little bit better, and find what spots and what roles these guys can help. And you're exactly right. The next 3 or 4 weeks are huge for us because we only get a certain amount of games, and then here we are January 14th. It won't be long, and we'll be playing a district game, and I've had these guys for a month, where most of our opponents have had their football guys for a month now.
Right.
So it'll be interesting, but hopefully we can get it going pretty quick.
You have played a pretty tough schedule to this point, and you've had a double overtime loss in there too, and you keep playing Upperman.
Yeah. We I guess first game we played Tullahoma. My high school coach is it Tullahoma now, Jason Welch. He's been there, and we played, and he's got a really good team. I think the only loss they've had is to us. We're down 7 in the third quarter and go on a run and kind of take control of the game and win. And then we play Columbia at home right after that, and I think we're down 10 in the third quarter and make some plays and come back and win. And then, Christmas-wise, we have Fairview and Cannon. And Cannon County, is a state tournament team from last year and bring a lot of guys back. And Jared was my assistant at Siegel, and obviously Coach Rigsby's assistant as well, and played for Coach Rigsby. And he does a really good job at Cannon, and, we're fortunate to win that game. And then, this week we were so close to being 6-0, but, the double overtime loss to Green Hill, their size bothered us. Just not having enough front court depth, I guess you would say, and length right now. Their big kid that's been hurt, he played really well against us, and we made plays. Josh Wiley hits a 3 to send it into overtime, and then Yeshua Cobb hits one at the end of overtime to force double overtime, and then I think we ran out of gas just without having enough, firepower or being able to play. And then we play Upperman. Upperman's really good. They've got the Cobb kid he's the real deal, and I'll let everyone, college, et cetera, know he's the real deal. But we get down 13 in the first quarter, and we could have folded. And we battle all the way back and tie it in the fourth and have a chance to take the lead twice. We're tied with the ball, and we get a good look and just miss a runner, and then we're down 2, and Malcolm Ashley's just made a 3. We get a set to get him a wide open look, and he takes it, and I thought it was in the whole way, and just kind of rattles out. And then we play the foul game, and we're down 3. They foul. We make a free throw, miss one on purpose. It doesn't hit the rim, so it's a dead ball, and then they get kind of a leak out dunk there at the end for us to lose by 4. But I think this helps us, playing good teams and physical teams and different types of teams, and hopefully come district play and then into postseason play, we've seen these teams and we're ready to compete come February and March.
Oakland coach Tyron Birdwell joining us here this morning, talking Oakland boys basketball. You've mentioned a few of your players. Brian Haggard had, 23 last night, and earlier this week I saw he had 15. You mentioned Wiley. He had 22 in that double overtime, and Yeshai Cobb, 21 last night?
Yeah, Thursday night against Upperman. Yeah,
it was Thursday, wasn't it?
Yeah, we've had I try not to schedule on Fridays during football season.
I understand. That's probably pretty smart.
Yeah, this is the first year I finally looked at it. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not fighting anymore, reschedules or anything like that. No, we've had, a bunch of guys play well, starting-wise. I think we've had 3 guys in double figures in 5 or 6 games, and one of them was the Green Hill game, which is crazy. The double overtime game is the only game we didn't have 3 guys in double figures. But, Brian's played really well, sophomore. He's a volume shooter. He's going to take a lot of shots. He's going to make shots. He's going to take tough ones, and he's going to make some tough ones. You kind of got to live with it as his coach. I think 15 is the lowest output he's had all year at Green Hill, and part of that was he makes 4 threes in the first quarter, but he also got 3 fouls, so he had to sit with foul trouble for a little bit.
That'll do it every time, won't it?
Yeah, big time. But he's playing well. We've got to have him continue playing well, but he's also got to have some help. Malcolm Ashley's definitely stepped up. I know he had a double-double against Cannon County. I know he had 14 the other night against Upperman. I think he's double figures in about half our games. Josiah Cobb has played well. He had a couple games where he didn't play great, and then, Thursday night he has 21. Really good shooter, really good set shooter. And then Josh Wiley's been our point guard. We've put a lot on him, and, he had to, put a little bit more defensively the other night against Upperman, and he struggled offensively, but he's played well. And, then we've started Lane Varon, who's a baseball kid as well, pitcher, and he's kind of been our 5 right now. And then we've got a couple kids coming off the bench just trying to give us spot minutes and play and do their role and help defensively. And we've one of those, we could be 2-4, we could also be 6-0. So I guess you kind of got to take it for what it is and be happy you're 4-2. And then here we've got our football guys coming back and kind of see how we can piece them together and be ready to play. And hopefully, come the first of the year, we're kind of gelling and hitting on all cylinders come our district play.
Next week, I think you've got Mount Juliet and Cookeville on the
Mount
road.
Juliet, Mount Juliet at home. I think it's, our last home game between now and Rockville, January 14th.
Wow.
So just a big gap. And then we're at Cookeville, and then we go at Stewart's Creek the 17th. I think we've got Rossview and Centennial at Coach Voss's Riverdale tournament, or Classic right before Christmas. And then post-Christmas, we're going to Page, and we've got, I think, Memphis Business School, Boyd Buchanan, and Springfield there. So, a lot of games coming up, which is good and bad because, the kids want to play. We love to play, but also need a little practice time to try to get us back and ready to roll. So we'll have to enjoy the couple off days, Christmas-wise, but definitely be ready to work when we're in the gym and hopefully, keep meshing and gelling and working together.
Dyron, just one quick minute on next year and the district realignment and, 4-team district, Blackman going to play with the Smyrna and Laverne group, and that's going to look completely different. You're only going to have 6 district games to play, and so you're going to be late January before you even need to play a district.
Yeah, I don't love it. Not that TWSAA asked me what I think, but I don't love it. It's hard to find teams that want to play at times, and so now we've got basically 20 games that we'll have to schedule if you count the Hall of Fame games at the beginning of the year. And when I first got to Siegel, minus Rockville, that was our district. And then even when we added Rockville, my last couple of years, that was our district. And now it's going to be, our region tournament. We're going to play a county tournament, kind of like they do in middle school, to see who goes to sub-state. And then now we're not going to Chattanooga for sub-state. We're going to Williamson County. So
it's all different.
It's definitely different. We'll find a way. We'll figure it out. We'll be excited. We'll have to, go schedule some games. We have to keep playing Upperman, finding some people to play. And
probably going to have to rely on that other district here and play these in-county games because you also need Gates.
Yeah, I would love to. I would love for us to kind of get something I guess, as a region together and try to play each other at least once during the regular season to help us, get games on the schedule and get Gates and get, people excited to still watch the county. But, yeah, definitely interesting. And then, it used to be a big thing to make the region tournament, and now where everybody's going to make it, it can be great. But also, basketball is such a tournament, postseason sport, that I kind of like the do or die parts of some of those games and some of those tournaments, which I guess you'll get 2 against 10 county teams now come region tournament. But we'll figure it out and we'll go from there. And you never know, in 2 years they may say we don't like this, let's change it, or let's do something else, and we'll go from there. But just excited to, I guess, keep playing, and hate it that Blackman's not going to be in the league because they've been such a staple, and year in, year out, one of, if not the best program in Middle Tennessee. And so definitely want to keep playing them, but finding a way to keep scheduling, and I guess we'll work through it next year when we get there.
Sure thing. Well, Dyron, appreciate you coming in this morning, and we'll see you once you get all these pieces back together, and rooting on the Oakland football team tonight, of course. It always helps school morale and everything. Get one like that. So appreciate it, Dyron. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you.
Coach Dyron Birdwell joining us on the Coaches Show, which is brought to you by Edward Jones financial advisor Lee Colvin, who will work with you to develop a complete, tailored strategy to help you achieve your financial goals. That's Edward Jones financial advisor Lee Colvin.
Winners Trophies can help you with customized awards for any occasion. Owner Kelly Hockenberry continues to provide awards for sports teams, churches, recognition awards, and more. Call Winners Trophies at 904-6002. That's 904-6002 for the best in quality, service, and pricing. You can also email Kelly, winnerstrophy@comcast.net. That's winnerstrophy@comcast.net. Any award for any occasion. Winners Trophies, 904-6002.
We're at Rick's Barbecue talking with Anne-Marie Brentz, who says they're ready to feed your entire crew with the family pack.
It's a pound of pork or any of our pulled meats, and then you get 2 16-ounce sides, and then you get a bag of chips, which are plain or barbecue, and then the buns come with it, and then you get one of our drink choices, which is either a 2-liter of one of our sodas or a half-gallon of one of our teas.
And don't forget the famous Rick's Loaded Baked Potato.
That's the biggest potato you can get. They're right at 2 pounds.
Let Rick's Barbecue do the cooking, 212 Warrior Drive.
In Rutherford County, you know how much it means to have neighbors that you can count on. I'm State Farm Agent Ron Reeves, here to help life go right when you combine home and auto insurance. Call me at 615-873-1700. Let me save you money and time.
It's not just your home or car. I'm State Farm Agent Emerson Williams. We see your home and car as the time and memories that you put into it. Give me a call at 615-459-2683 and let me help you give them the protection they deserve.
Hi, I'm Lakin Gilman, a mortgage loan originator with First Mortgage, a department of First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. Whether you're buying a new home or refinancing, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. With competitive rates and personal service, let me turn your homeownership dreams into reality. Visit my website, lakinhibden.com, or come by my office at 322 North Front Street, located in downtown Murfreesboro, and let's get started.
First National Bank of Middle Tennessee. We show up for you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 401715.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
The Coaches Show brought to you by Las Casas Feed Supply, locally owned and operated by Coy and Jennifer Young, specializing in animal feeds, premium pet foods, farm supplies, and more. Our first chance to catch up with the new head coach of the Stewart's Creek Redhawks, Adam Jones, joins us this morning by phone. Coach, good morning to you.
Good morning. How you doing? Thanks
doing great. Absolutely. Always look forward to talking about the Redhawks, and maybe just give us a little bit about you and introduce yourself to Rutherford County who may not know you.
Okay. Well, I've been in Rutherford County for, this is my 8th year now. I was at Laverne as an assistant for 4 years, and over to Stewart's Creek as an assistant for 3 years, and then Dr. Harold and Todd Harris getting the opportunity to lead the Redhawks this year.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, and kind of before that, I've kind of bounced around college a little bit, was Stetson University down in Florida, and then came to Nashville. That's kind of how I got home here to work for Casey Alexander at Lipscomb University. And then did that for about 5-6 years, and then got into the high school scene in Rutherford County, and here we are.
Talk about that just a little bit, because you have been a part of the high school scene locally, but have been other places and other experiences. I mean, it's a pretty special place to be here in Rutherford County, I think.
It definitely is. And when I first moved here, I didn't know much about it, but then when I was looking to get out of the college scene, people kept telling me, man, if you want to coach and teach at high school, you need to go to Rutherford County. That's the spot to do it with. One, the athletes, and two, just the schools and the community and how big it's growing. So I got used to it really, really quickly, and I'm glad I chose Rutherford County instead of some of the others. I could see myself staying here for a while.
And Stewart's Creek is all of our county schools are great, but you seem to have good support, good kids, all those kinds of things. And, when you've got an administration that is supportive and understand the importance of athletics and academics and all of that, and how that really helps morale in your school. I mean, all of those things are very important, and it's just not there sometimes, but it certainly is at Stewart's Creek.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, like you said, the administration, they obviously, you got to care about academics, but they know athletics are not as important, but pretty close. And then when you have that support, it gets kids to buy in, and they don't try to leave. They're happy where they are. And then as coaches, they just let us do our jobs, basically. I mean, they stay out of the way, and they hired us for a reason, and they trust us to do that job. So it's no stress behind the scenes. It's just, stress of trying to win games, and that's it.
Well, talk to me about the season so far. I was trying to piece together wins and losses and who you played and that kind of thing, and it's a little scattered out there. So kind of give us a recap of so far how things have gone.
The record's not where we want it to be. We're 2-4 right now, but we've played some really good teams that we've competed with. Now, should we have won some of those games? Yes. But it's just a high level of competition. I mean, we opened up with Independence to start the season, competed with that, came up short. Then we went to Cannon County on the road, which was another state tournament team last year, won up there. Then we came back, played Hume Fogg, another state tournament team, competed with them, but came up short. Then we played Arlington, came up short there as well, and then Nolensville, and then last night Riverdale. So, I mean, we've kind of been kind of circling the wagon in this area a little bit, but we've played some of the top teams in the area. So record's 2-4, should be a little bit better, but the kids have bought in, and we've kind of kept the locker room together, and they're fine with it, and they're still working hard.
We had our broadcast game last night was Blackman-Brentwood, and Brentwood, you put Nolensville in that mix, Independence, Williamson County is definitely pretty strong this year, especially in boys basketball, and of course what Independence was able to do last year. So, it's good to play that kind of competition though to get you ready for the district.
It really is, and it's a different brand of basketball, even though they're so close. They have shooters all over the floor, no matter what team you play. Their size is incredible. They're athletic. They're physical. So that's why we kind of try to get over there, because if we want to get to where we want to get to, we got to figure out how to beat one of those teams anyway. Like I said, we've played Independence, Nolensville. We still have Brentwood and Centennial on the schedule. But it does get us ready for the tough district ahead that we have coming up. And
that district includes a Lebanon team who I think brings back just about everybody. Coach Dowell, had a very young team that last year toward the end kind of made a little postseason punch. You've got the defending runner-up in Cookeville. I mean, and Smyrna's better. Laverne, of course, which got to the state tournament. So the cotton is pretty tall.
It is, and that's why we put the schedule together the way we did this year. We're not playing any cupcakes, because come district, there are no cupcakes. Like you're saying, there's no real bottom feeder this year.
Yeah.
Lebanon's way better. Wilson Central's better. Smyrna's going to be a problem. Laverne's bringing a lot back. They competed with Independence the other night, took them to overtime. and Cookville's bringing a lot back. So, I mean, you got to show up every night and be ready to go.
Well, one of the scores and some information that I did see from the week, Des Carpenter had 26, I think, against Nolensville. And, you've got Sean Goggins as well. So kind of with that in mind, give us an idea of who we see out there playing for you night in and night out for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, so Dez has been our league scorer so far. I think he was the player of the week last year in the area. He's just a high-level offensive guy and probably one of our better defenders as well. He was ineligible last year as a transfer from Father Ryan, so this is his senior year, and he's stepped up to the plate so far. And then we're other senior heavy with Micah Shaw, returning point guard. We got Taj Roseburg, who's a football kid that's coming over. So we're still kind of trying to get him in basketball shape a little bit. And then we have Cam Nelson, his brother London Nelson. I mean, we got a bunch of good guards. And like you said, Sean Goggins, who's just a sophomore this year, he's been doing really well for us. We've kind of had a little bit by the injury bug to start the season, and then our football team had a great run in the state playoffs, which very proud of them. So we're still trying to figure out lineups and kind of find our identity as we get our full squad together.
Adam Jones with us. We're talking Stewart's Creek boys basketball here this morning. What does the next few weeks right before Christmas? I know you got, end of course exams or whatever they're called now, midterms or whatnot. So how are things looking the next few weeks for you?
We're going to keep it as normal as possible. I mean, obviously the kids are going to be busy with EOCs, as they call it, and stuff like that. But, I mean, we'll have normal practices. We've got normal Tuesday, Friday games. We got Warren County next week, and then Gallatin, I believe. And then the week after, we have Oakland. And I don't have a schedule in front of me to play somebody else, but we go one game at a time.
I understand.
But we'll keep it as normal as possible. And then once Christmas hits, obviously we do a little pre-Christmas deal, give the kids some time off, come back, do a post-Christmas deal, and keep it going. Once the season starts, it's kind of here we go.
Yeah. I think I know you've got Gallatin on the 13th because we plan to broadcast that game.
Yeah, Warren County Gallatin next week.
Yeah. So looking forward to seeing the team. I did want to ask you as well about, if I'm not mistaken, didn't you do a little remodeling there this year in not necessarily the gym, but the locker room? You had a big remodel there?
We did ours 2 years ago.
Okay, that's right. That was the girls that did theirs.
Yeah, Coach Starkey and the girls got theirs done this year.
It's you spend a lot of time in those places. So, I mean, they need to be comfortable, and you need to have enough lockers and that kind of thing. Yeah. And sometimes it just takes a bit to make all of that happen with a fairly new school, I guess.
It does, and the kids need that space, and like you said, it needs to be a nice space for them to whether it's hang out in or whatever they're doing. But like you said, they spend a lot of time in there, so we work pretty hard. Coach Starkey worked really hard this year to try to get that remodel done and raise some money to get it as nice as possible, for something for the kids to be proud of.
Well, I knew somebody did it because I remembered as I was talking to you that those I saw pictures, and so
yeah. Ours was a couple years ago.
Oh, well, that's great.
Yeah, they were just closets before that, so they look good now.
Isn't that the case? But a nice, good place to do that. Another last minute or so, I've kind of been talking to the coaches, looking way into the future and next year, and the realignment of the districts. It's going to be completely different, and Stewart's Creek, I think, has just bounced around a lot. In every realignment has brought massive changes, and this not to be outdone next year, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's it is what it is for the most part. We right now for the district we're in now, it kind of basically sucks for Cookville. I mean, they got to travel all over the place every district game, so. They've kind of been wanting out, and I don't blame them one bit. But the realignment just is what it is. We play who we play, and I'm glad it's more back in the area. Just with the 4 teams, I told the AD the other day, go ahead and make a plaque because we're in the region tournament for next season.
Right.
We got 4 teams in it, so. But it'll be all right. I mean, it's going to be familiar, obviously, and good. We can stay kind of more local than we are right now.
Well, the challenge is going to be finding enough non-district games because you only have 6 games.
Once January starts, we're going to have to go talk to the other 4-team districts to try to see if we can just schedule some games when everyone else is starting their district. But there's enough 4-team districts that we'll be able to figure that out.
Well, Coach, looking forward to coming out next Friday night and coming out to your place to broadcast your games, girls and boys, with Gallatin, and we'll see you back here in a couple of weeks.
Okay, sounds good. I really appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. Thank you. That is Adam Jones, the head coach of the Stewart's Creek Redhawks, as we talk boys basketball this morning on the Coach's Show, brought to you by Little Caesars Pizza with 4 Murfreesboro locations: Memorial Boulevard, Warrior Drive, South Rutherford Boulevard, and Old Fort Parkway. Get hot and ready pizza from Little Caesars.
Genesee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Here's Dr. Russell McKissick with TOA.
We have a passion here for taking care of our athletes here in Rutherford County. We really do our best to take care of them.
Experts in joint, bones, and muscles.
Many years we've been taking care of athletes around here, and we've just picked up where Dr. John started, and we just keep going.
TOA has a playbook that gets you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. TOA, live your best life.
Quick, convenient, efficient. 3 words that we all hope to experience when we do business. Our goal at JHA Company is to bring just that to an industry that's traditionally dictated to the customer when it's time to do business. Whether you're purchasing class pictures in a yearbook, class jewelry, a letter jacket, school spirit wear, or senior graduation products, we strive to make the experience quick, convenient, and efficient. Find out more at jhacompany.com. JHA, your one source for an unparalleled scholastic experience.
This is a paid legal ad.
Hi, this is John Day of the Law Offices of John Day. I've lived and worked as a lawyer in Middle Tennessee for over 30 years, and to me, every single day has been an honor. That's why our firm is so involved with community programs like bicycle helmet giveaways and our Safe Ride Home program. At the Law Offices of John Day, we're not just looking to make donations. We want to make a difference in the community we hold so dear. And if you're ever injured, know that we are here for you too.
Hello, this is Coy Young at Las Casas Feed Supply. We'd like to welcome you to our door.
If you're a homeowner with a quarter acre or several, Las Casas Feed Supply focuses on premium feeds and dog foods you won't find in the box stores.
Nutrition is our specialty here at Las Casas Feed.
Family owned and operated by Coy and Jennifer Young, inviting you to stop by, visit, and enjoy the country.
Customer service and expertise that exceeds your expectations.
Las Casas Feed is also your place for local milk from the MTSU Dairy on Barlow Lane, just off Highway 96 East in Las Casas.
Don't let concerns about today's events derail your long-term financial strategy. Hi, I'm Edward Jones Financial Advisor Lee Colvin, and I'm here to help. We can work together to understand the impact of these events and make sure that your goals are top of mind. While you can't control market volatility, we'll help focus on what you can control. We can connect in several virtual ways. Start by giving me a call at 615-907-7056. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
Coach's Show is brought to you by Rick Hall with Rayburn Insurance Agency in Smyrna. Give Rick a call for auto, home, business, and life insurance needs. More online at rayburn.net, RABORN.net. We're talking Rockvale boys hoops this morning. The head coach, Wendell Ingram, is here. Got the powder blue going this morning, Coach.
Yeah, I try to rep Rockvale at all times. You never know, a kid could be walking around at Walmart looking for a place to play, so they can call to me if they see me. I guess that's not recruiting, is it? Hope Tito it's all at the football state tournament.
I mean, they see the Power R and know that recognizable Rockvale logo, and you just never know, right?
Right.
How have things been going?
It's going as planned. Early in the season, a lot of guys who didn't get as many minutes last year are getting those now. We have, if you look at our rotation, we have about 4 new faces that we have on the court this year. And we have some familiar faces, but those 4 new faces, have stepped up to the plate, and they're doing pretty good. They're playing their role, but they hadn't did what they are capable of doing yet, and that's the scary part. So it's early in the season. We have some tough road games so far, and it's not going to get easier going forward.
Yeah, well, one of those familiar faces, Malachi Long. He had 23 in your win over Clarksville Academy. Ty Newton had 10 in the loss to Page the other night. I mean, just a couple of the names that are familiar. But then you have Elijah France and Caleb Lewis in there. So you do have a mix.
Yeah, those two are some big power juniors in this area that is going to be a tough deal next year as they become seniors. And then we also have a transfer in Wyatt that transferred into a 6'7" kid, very raw, but he's capable of doing a lot. But, he just got to get comfortable with the guys and get used to our, fast-paced offense. And then, we have Dallas Paldo, sophomore, plays football as well. Yeah. We're trying to get him out of football shape and get back in basketball shape. And my probably one of my heartbeats on the team is Amari Dewberry. He's accepting his role. Man, great kid, high energy. Him and my son Braylon, man, those two are my seniors as well, and they're basically our heartbeats of the team as well, man. They start practice, they end practice, shooting the ball and working out in the weight room and things like that.
I see Amari on the court and just, always a spark when he comes in, and kind of that emotional support for others who need a positive word when something doesn't go right, that kind of thing.
Amar has never had a frown on his face. I mean, even when he hurt his ankle last year in the game, he was still smiling. Last night he came off the bench and he was our second lead scorer. He sets the tone and introduces himself really early once he gets on the court.
Last night, tell me a little bit about that one, because that was a narrow loss to a really good Nolensville team.
Nolensville team, it was their senior night. Very, very, very crazy environment, high energy, loud intensity. I think their student section basically was 2 sections of the bleachers. They were so crazy. They knew every kid by name. Even knew some of our kids on our team girlfriend's name. They chanted. They had signs. They had big head faces. They had all of that. It was their senior night. So I knew it was going to be one of those, crazy environments. Great team. We was out without Caleb Lewis last night. He hurt his ankle against Page. So, you beat us by 4, and Caleb's our 3rd leading scorer on the team. A person on the outside, maybe some people in the gambling world could probably say we probably could have got that one last night. But, again, we show you what type of team we have, even when we're not at 100%. We don't give up. We was down that game and Page about 10 in the 4th quarter. And last night we pulled within 1, and we had a chance to probably can get that W. But again, when you're playing in that area, different association of refs, they call a little differently than you would if you was back at home or in another area. So we got to get used to it and go from there.
We've got Rockville coach Wendell Ingram joining us this morning. Your 3 recent losses are by a total of 6 and 9 points.
Yes.
Total in all 3 games. So you've had some really close ones too, and that makes you better come January.
That does. So when we look at the film, and a lot of guys, they look and they say, man, if we would have made this free throw in the 2nd or the 3rd quarter, do we win the 4th quarter? Or, man, if I'd have been paying attention, I got backdoored on that cut, would we have won this 4th quarter? So,
or this minute span made all the difference in the game.
Yes, sir. And when you hear guys talking like that, that's sophomores, juniors, not even just seniors, that lets you know you're going in the right direction. And when they text you, I think it was 8:30 this morning saying, hey, are you going to open up the gym today because I want to get some shots up? That lets you know you're heading in the right direction. And because they could be sleeping until 11 watching cartoons on Saturday morning. I don't know if they still come on, but I think they used to. But
in our day,
I was sitting eat Fruit Loops until 10:30 watching cartoons. But those guys rather be in the gym right now because they know what type of team we have this year, and they have a goal set. But I got to remind them, we can't keep looking at that goal. We got to take care of what's going on right now. And then that's going to come. That's going to come.
I think we've got are going to have a super competitive district this year. Saw Blackman last night for the first time this year. Solid. Got most everybody back from a solid team from the last couple of years, honestly. Oakland's, they don't have their full team back. Still some playing football. And so, I'm not going to list all of them, but I think it's going to be super competitive this year.
This is going to be a big, big district. Every coach that I've talked to so far in the game, he's like, hey, you guys play in a tough district, and at the end of the game, they shed some advice and some tips, and they're like, hey, I can't wait to keep up what's going on in that district because it's going to be tough. We just basically withheld punches from you guys, and hopefully they can take those punches in January from you guys, and we're going to be a tough team to deal with come district play. It's guys that no one pretty much doesn't seen enough film on or know enough about them yet, to where when they do step out on that court, they're going to be like, whoa, that's not part of my scouting report. And that's what's been going on. Going into the season, a lot of the writers was like, Ty Newton, Malachi Long, they're going to be, but no one heard of Elijah Franz up here recently, and he's going to be a tough one to deal with day in and day out.
Wendell, let's talk a little bit about the next couple of weeks and kind of what is on the agenda in terms of games for you.
Next week we head to Tullahoma, which is probably going to be playing in their district tournament this year. The great team. They got a big 6'10" kid that's really good. I think he may be a sophomore or junior. And then we play Ainsworth, who has probably the top 2 players in the area. A couple kids that's got offers from Michigan State, Ohio State, and everybody. On Thursday night, and then on Friday we play Lipscomb, which are getting back going again. They got football guys. They got a kid named Cam Blevins that's probably one of the best players in the area as well. And then the following week we have Green Hills and Ezell Hardin, and then we go into Christmas break where we're going to go down to Jackson and play a few teams from Memphis. Memphis Central, Memphis Tresvant, and Liberty in that area down there. So
do you have a game at Mount Juliet too?
Oh, we do. Mount Juliet, December 20th. I'm sorry. That's
that's a busy week. That's a 3-game week for you.
Yeah, we got a 3-1 this week coming up and a 3 the following week, and then we're gonna take a couple days off and then head to Jackson for a tournament, which those teams will prepare us to. They're tough. They're big. They're gonna prepare us to be able to face teams like Blackman and Siegel and Oakland and Riverdale and things like that.
Well, then district play starts mid-January. You take on a state tournament team from last year in Laverne as well. So I mean, you definitely when you were scheduling, nobody to blame but yourself, right?
I think I got hacked. I'm not sure, but somehow the emails and the text messages went out to some schools, and Coach Lyons on the girls' side, he joked with me all the time. He's like, what was you thinking? But the thing about it is, no one's gonna really care what you did in November and December. It's how you're going to come out in that court in January and February. And to do that, you have to go out here and play and schedule teams. And it helps you on the recruiting side as well for your players that's trying to go to college. If they send in film where they're beating, Mother Teresa school or something like that, man, they don't care about that. But if you show them film where you're battling against Nolensville, Laverne, teams like that gets you in a better spotlight because most of the time they're there watching players from that other team that's playing. So why not go out there and try to schedule some good competition?
Well, I've been talking a little bit about next year and the district realignment, and boy, that's going to look completely different.
Yeah, we basically lose the grandfather of our district, the godfather. I'm sorry, the godfather of our district, man, and that's Blackman. We lose them, and we go to where we're just basically staying on Old Fort Parkway, basically going to games now, and it's gonna look weird next year. I guess you can say it's some pros and cons to it, but we're gonna still
only got 6 district games,
and
that's what's gonna be the weirdest part.
You're gonna end up finding out, man, if you gonna have to travel a lot, I feel like. But you still got those relationships with those teams on the other side, with Omar and Rutland and Coach Wortman them, where you can still schedule those games. And it helps the gate. It definitely helps the gate to where you can still have your student body come here and watch. But now you're going to find yourself going to play teams up in East Tennessee and West Tennessee and heading over to Clarksville and stuff like that. And that's where it gets tough.
It just seems to me it doesn't make sense to not play teams that are, a 20-minute drive in your county.
Yeah.
I think we'll all do that because those everybody's going to need a gate, right?
Yeah, and I think it puts pressure on you guys when you guys want to cover the district tournaments next year. You want to be fair to everyone, but you guys are going to get tired of driving 5 minutes to another district.
Well, maybe we can get those, not on the same day for the championships.
Well, I definitely make sure when I talk with Coach Burwell, them guys, man, we try to do that to help you guys because y'all do so good for our community. So we at least got to bring y'all to the table.
Well, try to just to be able to get coverage from everything. You only have a few people trying to do that and can only be at one place at one time, and that sometimes is a challenge. So
I do feel like we need to bring y'all in those conversations because, like I said, you guys are, man, without you guys, we can't promote our community and our team. So.
Well, appreciate that. And you get to host the district tournament, though, don't you, this year?
Yeah, so I'm going to close it out with Blackman, and I hope they don't get a parting gift by winning the championship. So since we're in the Christmas season, I think I would try to become a Scrooge on that situation.
Understood. Wendell, thanks so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you, guys.
Always fun to talk to you. Wendell Ingram on the Coach's Show, talking Rockvale boys basketball, brought to you by Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, family owned and operated since 1977. Get the best service with Prentice Allsup Heating and Air online at PrenticeAllsup.com.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
Whether it's the blazing heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter, let the Rheem Pro professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Conditioning on West College Street keep your home or business comfortable year-round. We service all major brands and in most cases offer same-day service. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Rheem Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
And we welcome you back here to the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner. This portion of the show is brought to you by Bowen's Body Shop. From Deans and Dents to full body work, trust Jeff and Kyle Bowen to do the job right. They're located on Middle Tennessee Boulevard. In the studio with me this morning is Matt Rigsby, the head coach of the Siegel Stars. And Matt, I know just a brief talk about last year, what a team you had. And I know it didn't end the way you wanted it to end, but boy, I know you had to be proud of those guys, and I know you lost some key players on that team for this year anyway.
Yeah, and by the way, it's hard to believe it's this time of year already.
I know. I was going to tell you.
Talk to me again. You got to be mad about that, John. Yeah, I mean, Lord, we were 25-5 last year. It was a phenomenal season. Ran into a buzzsaw with Cookville, who eventually got to hoist up a silver ball out of the state tournament. And, yeah, they were just phenomenal, and everybody knew it. But no takeaway from that. And from that season, of course, obviously, you got to move on. And this year is a new year, obviously. But, hopefully some lessons were learned, from some of our younger guys who can apply those lessons and who experienced some of that success coming into this year.
When you lose, and not only when you lose players like those seniors, not only their talent, but their leadership and what they bring to the table. But you got some guys coming back, and I know you're excited about this year.
We do, but you can't talk about where you're going until you figure out where you've been. So be remiss to not mention the Mac Mosses, the Thomas Santels, the Roth Clarks, the Cadence Melendezes, who done so much for us last year. Now, we returned some guys, so I'm not saying woe is me, but I guess what I am trying to say is you lose Mac Moss at the one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Tremendous player.
Yeah. He carried so much of the ball handling responsibility. Well, he's gone, graduated. And so now Carter Webb has to fulfill that role. So Carter Webb, we all know Carter Webb, who fulfilled a great role as a scorer and 2-guard last year. So now Carter's asked to score the ball and be Mac Moss this year also. You lose a 5'10" center in Thomas Santel, though, who was a quarterback in the back of our matchup zone, who was just communicating and getting everybody where they need to be, which was a key to, I don't know, 49, 50 points per game we gave up last year.
One of the best defensive players I've ever seen.
Yes.
Yeah, could play that post area for his size was unbelievable.
And could stretch out and guard your one if needed, out of that matchup zone. And so, some parts are gone. It's up to us as a coaching staff to, we're going from a 5'10" center to a 6'10" center this year in Lawson Lee. We'll talk about him in a minute. That's a great problem to have. I'm not complaining, I promise. Love Lawson. He had 21 last night at Shelbyville.
He's got it's pedigree too, He's got a dad that was.
Don't tell his daddy that.
Okay, all right, okay. We'll bypass it. Okay.
But with that being said, too, we have to pretty much change 90% of everything we've done in the last 2 years, offensively and defensively. But that's coaching, So growing pains are going to come with that, though.
And Carter, I know he can make the adjustment to point guard, but it does kind of change your offense the way you have to look at things, because when he brings the ball up the floor, you got other guys are going to have to step up a little bit too.
Correct. And I had this conversation with Carter yesterday, and he understands it. Now that I'm sitting there bringing it to you, I don't know why I had the conversation with him, because he understands it. One of the most unselfish distributors of basketball I've ever coached. But he averaged 22 points and 4 assists last year. Well, he's not going to average 22 this year. You think a year of growth, he's going to average 23, 24. No, he's in a different role.
Yeah.
He's probably.
It's an impossibility, really. I mean, if you look at it.
Now, in theory, should he average 15, 16, and 7 assists? Yes. Mm-hmm. So the point production's still the same if you look at the assist total.
Right.
But no, he's not going to be a 22 points per game guy this year.
The rounding out, I know depth has been a little bit of an issue for you the last couple of years. You haven't.
Did you hear me complaining in the lobby to
No,
Omar
I did not.
Boss? Oh, okay.
I did not. But I know it's been an issue a little bit with you, and you've played basically 7 guys with the exception. Is this year, do you see a little bit that being better, or is it just about like it has been?
That's the age-old question from now my 4 years at Siegel High School.
Yeah.
8, 9, I would love.
Mm-hmm.
We got some guys, Damon Goring, Sia Powell's a sophomore, Damon's a junior, Cale Martin, freshman, Coach Martin, my assistant coach, his son, Cale. We're sprinkling guys in. We're trying to get them some minutes, trying to get them ready to go, trying to build some depth come January, come district play. Now, I can run you out there. After that, it's up to you. I can't make it happen for you. Nobody wants my 43-year-old self out there playing basketball for you. But it's my job to give you opportunities. Now, once you're on the floor, make the most of it.
You got a coach back, haven't you? Is that right? That was the girls' coach. Is he back with you?
Coach Shutt. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
John, I'd rather talk about Lawson Lee's daddy. No,
I know you're glad to have him back, though.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's a tremendous coach and did a great job with those girls too. And now he can kind of concentrate on. He just has the love for boys basketball, doesn't he?
100%. And Sam Gordon, my non-faculty guy, Ray Shutt is back. Linus Martin. I love my guys, my coaching staff. I would be ashamed to admit how many years of coaching and education between the 4 of us there's probably there. It means we're getting pretty old if that's the case. But great staff, great with kids, great knowledge of the game, make me look a lot smarter than what I truly am. I can guarantee you that.
Let me ask you, Matt, when you've got you're 4-3, which is not bad. Are your expectations? Are you coming into this season a little different? Because I know everybody expected you to be good last year, and that makes for high expectations. Are the expectations? I know your expectations are still high. How do you feel they've responded, and where do you feel you're at right now?
That's a tough question. It's too early for that, John.
I know. I understand.
When Dorian Lyles, 6'10", Lawson Lee, and Carter Webb walk into a gym, everybody's immediately got their expectations in order. The issue is we play this game with 5 on the floor. And again, I would love to play it with 8 or 9 in terms of that 5 on the floor throughout a game. So we're going to look the part at times. But again, there's just some growing pains going on right now. In that 4-3 record, Tullahoma got us. Carter went down with stitches the game before versus Bearden. By the way, Bearden is beyond loaded.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's 8 teams going to Murphy Center. I think Bearden's one of them. The next game, we got to play Tullahoma live without Carter there, which was good for us to taste that a little bit. For some other guys to step up and share a leadership, ball handling responsibility role. Our issue right now is we're just not shooting the ball very well at all. I think we were 2 of 15 from 3 last night, and that's got to
be better.
That's got to change.
I know Christmas vacation's coming up, and you're going to have. I think you're going to be in a tournament. Of course, most everybody is, but you've got Shelbyville, who you beat last night, Wilson Central. Then you play Shelbyville again. But this time, both of those games are at home, correct?
Yes, we've had 2 home games. Our Thanksgiving Classic that we host. But True get a student section there. School's in session. Of course, we're over. Thanksgiving break.
Right.
So it'll be great to finally get like a true Tuesday night or Friday night home game.
The one question, I hate to cut you short. We've got sports coming up after this show today, but. This is really truly this early preseason is more important than maybe many others because you are trying to figure out what combination works, who's going to step up, and like you said, even Carter being out was a good test for them to say, what do you do without him, that kind of thing, because there's going to be days he may be in foul trouble or, that kind of thing. So you're kind of looking at that, aren't you? Probably playing a few more people than you normally play in a game.
All things there are correct. It's kind of a push-pull too, again, because of the growing pains and having to restructure everything we're doing. I'll give Lawson Lee as an example, our starting center. Lawson needs more individual post-reps stuff in practice. And we can do a better job, quite frankly, of giving him and Matthew Rice and R.J. Biggers and a couple others of our bigs those individual reps. But practice time it's precious, and so we're still having to add so many different things new to get 6'10" the basketball. No offense, Thomas Santel knows I love him to death, but we wouldn't run anything to get Thomas Santel to sit down on the block and make a post move.
Yeah, right.
And so again, that push-pull of giving him more individual reps to make him a better individual player versus still the 5-on-5, the game prep itself to help him be successful as well and to get the ball in his hands. So that's kind of what we're dealing with.
Have you had to slow the tempo down a little bit? Because I know you like to run. Or are those guys able to get down the floor and go for it? I'm sure it would help with rebounding having such big guys.
Well, we had a heart-to-heart film session yesterday before we hit the floor to walk through to prepare for Shelbyville. I want to play fast.
Mm-hmm.
My guys have claimed that they want to play fast. Well, then why am I pointing out on film that you're not advancing the ball or you're not sprinting the floor?
Mm-hmm.
So don't tell me you want to play a certain style, but yet you're not playing a certain style. So that needs to change too. And guys understood that again after that film session, and I think that will get better because again, if you're struggling offensively, we've got to find a way to get some transition buckets.
Yeah. Coach, it's a long season, but we've just the tip of the iceberg. We hadn't even started really, have we? I mean, we've just got a few games under our belt, and I always say there's 3 seasons in a basketball season. You're in the first season of it, and trying to find out what's going to click.
Yeah, and we will one way or the other. It's just it's going to be a patient deal again. I mean, the Mac Mosses, the Thomas, who we talked about before. Graduation's a big thing.
Yeah, and you had them for 3 or 4 years. I mean, that's
exactly.
It's just hard to replace. But I look for good things from you, and I'll not say anything else more about Austin's daddy. But he was a good player.
I know he was. I had to play against him, unfortunately.
That's Matt Rigsby, the head coach of the Siegel Stars. Looking forward to them. 4-3 right now, and you've got a home game with Wilson Central coming up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good to see you, Coach, and we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely, thanks, sir.
All right, that's Matt Rigsby, the head coach of the Siegel Stars. When we come back, we'll be talking to Davey McLaren of the Eagleville Eagles here on Prentice Also Heating Air Coaches Corner. I need to read a couple announcements before I let you go. The law offices of John Day sponsor this show. They've helped thousands of people get the legal help they need when they've needed it the most. If you've been injured, call the law offices of John Day. And also Ideas Tees, who'll be happy to help you fulfill all of your imprinted apparel, embroidery, and advertising specialty needs. Find out more at ideastees.com. We'll be right back.
Choosing the right insurance can be overwhelming. That's where Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance comes in. At Rayburn, we're not just about policies, we're about people. Rick Hall will take the time to understand your needs and find the best coverage at the best price. We've been serving our community since 1973. So why not let Rick Hall take the stress out of insurance? Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency, where you're more than just a policy number. You're our neighbors.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at wgnssports.com.
And welcome back to the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner. This portion of the show is brought to you by State Farm agents Andy Womack, Dana Womack, Celeste Middleton, Ron Reeves, and Emerson Williams. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. John Dinkins here with you, and we're talking to Eagleville boys coach Davey McLaren. And I was talking off air. I had the opportunity to see some of your game last night, and overall record is really good, and you're off to a good start. And I know you're glad to see that. And I know you played Santa Fe last night, and some unusual circumstances in the first meeting with them. Some emergency issues and some health issues with, I think, the coach's dad. So you didn't really get to finish that game. But last night you did, and it was a humdinger. Tell us a little bit about that game.
Yeah, well, first of all, I think we can be considered a rival now. After the last 4 years that we've been playing in the region, we seem to always match up with one another, and so we scheduled regular season games so that we can, for us, for our benefit, we can see them because they've been very good. They have one of the state's best scorers on their team. He's just really hard to defend. He's a tough matchup. And so, I'll go to the first game, playing at their place. The game ends 37-37 with 5 minutes to go in the third. There was a medical emergency with the coach's father. Both us and Santa Fe just decided to call it a draw, and thankfully we don't have to go back to Santa Fe to play. And so that just kind of builds up the tension to this game here. I know we won the region last year. I know that one of their players said that this was the marquee game for them, so they're very, energetic. They're very eager to play us. Their crowd was, it was great. It was a tournament atmosphere for sure. We started the game out, really, really strong. Defensively, I felt like our guys all night long really stayed to the scout. The Slaughter kid, he's averaged 40 against us the last 2 years. Every game, 41, 44. We held him to 23 last night. And so I thought that, team effort-wise, it was just an outstanding effort by the team. And you got off to a really good start with them too, but then again, I know you knew they would come back. Yeah, I mean, we play aggressive, and they play aggressive as well. But we play aggressive, and we try to we try to defend extremely hard. And foul situation, put them on the free throw line midway through. Well, I don't think they scored until 3 minutes into the first quarter, which I just have to tip my hat to the guys. They were just so locked in defensively and offensively too. We're getting good shots. We just got to finish those shots. But, then they get to the free throw line. It's, they start to see the ball go through the net. And when you're a scorer and you see it go through the net, and, you kind of build your confidence. And they made a little run at the end of the first quarter, and it's 15-11. We still have the lead, and then we get in foul trouble. And one luxury that we have is we have a really good, solid bench that can give us strong minutes. And our guys, the offensive production went down because I just think the pressure of the game early on in the season, we're still finding our identity. We still did some things differently offensively than we did the first time we played them. And so, it just took us to get in a rhythm, and then we had some, shots just not fall, and we were able to hang on to a 2-point lead at halftime. But, they're the number 2 team in the state, and I think, that's according to the Basketball Coaches Association of Tennessee, and I think they put us at 5. So you had 2 teams that with the potential to play late into the season, going at it, and it was just a classic early on. It went back and forth. We didn't shoot our first free throw until 4 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. And so we didn't shoot a free throw the entire game for 3.5 quarters. And then when we did shoot a free throw, we missed 7 in the last 4 minutes of the fourth quarter to put them away. And so that, we found a way to win, and that is definitely a quality that you want out of your guys. But we don't want to make it that tight. We had a lead, and they took the lead back with 16 seconds to go, and we found a way to get to the free throw line, and we hit both of them when it really mattered right there at the very end with 6 seconds to go in the game, and was able to force them into a bad shot with 6 seconds to go. So it was a good win for us. It was a great ending for us. I'm sure it was great to watch, but we still have a lot of work to do.
Well, you've got wins over Murfreesboro Central Magnet. You've got wins over Riverdale, Santa Fe, and Community. So you're off to a really good start. Now, I want you to talk a little bit about your players because this is the first time that we've got an opportunity to talk to you this year. I know Cole. Are they juniors now? I'm trying to remember because I remember watching them in grade school, in middle school. Is Cole and those guys? Are they juniors now? Or are they sophomores? I can't remember.
They're juniors.
Okay.
I'll go through our starting 5.
Right.
Brady Burns, he's a senior. He's been a starter on and off for 4 years. Really knows his role well. He signed a scholarship to play baseball, but yet he's out there, acting like he's going to go play college basketball the way he plays. You would think he's only a basketball player with his commitment to the team, and we appreciate his work. And then you have Gray Barker, who's another starter. He's our other senior who starts, and Gray's off to a really, really good senior year. He's a leader on the floor. He's athletic. He's long. He plays both guard and forward. He plays wherever he's needed. Very, unselfish in that aspect. If the team needs him in a spot, he goes there. And so those are the 2 seniors that are on the floor. The next 3 starters are all juniors. You have Camden Cole. Camden is, just a really all-around, really good player. He can do too many things, and that's what we're working through right now is to try to get him to simplify the game a little bit because he does have a lot of tools in the shed, and we don't need him to use every single one of them every single time down the floor. But he is a really, really good player who plays with a lot of heart and energy every game. And we have James Biga, who is our point guard, and he's also our backup forward. He's a point forward, really. And James is our enforcer. He's going to get us where we need to be. He's a floor general. He's tough. He's a tough defender. He seems to get the rebound. He's a great rebounder for a point guard. He's not your typical point guard, but just size-wise at our level. But he's just, he's got a motor that just goes, and he's relentless out there. And then we have Jackson Nichols, who is our other junior, and he's our shooting guard. And he's long and he's athletic, and he can really knock the 3 down. He's such a good 3-point shooter. So our guys do a great job of finding him. He's trying to get in his, find his rhythm. I think, we're kind of going right now. We're having a little bit of just expectation, trying to live up to all the hype instead of just play the game. So, I think our best basketball is in front of us right now. We're playing good enough to win, but we've got a lot of good basketball yet to come.
And let's see, Barker and your son comes off the bench, and so you've got some people, especially when you get in foul trouble like that. You kind of need those guys.
Yeah, we have three. I call them my rats. They come in, speed the game up, and they just really bring a lot of energy to the floor. Adrian Severi, he's a junior. Adrian's super athletic. He's a point guard, shooting guard. He's really playing well right now. Early in the season, we don't have a lot of drop off other than size when we go to our bench. We just give up some size. And Adrian's just a relentless defender. He's so fast. Sometimes he's too fast. But he is playing at a high level right now. We're really excited about him, and just a lot of growth from last year to this year. And then Drake Goers, he's another point guard, shooting guard. So I'm very blessed to have really 3 point guards on the team. Right there, Drake is really just a mirror image of Adrian. Those two, hard defenders, really good ball handlers, good shooters, high IQ guys that when we get them at the front, they can run the offense just like they were starters. And then Owen McLaren, he's good defender. He's like Jackson. He's a shooting guard. Came out of the season early in the season, had a really good opening game, and now he's just struggling a little bit with I think expectations, but defensively he gives us a little bit of size off the bench, but in the right spot, good rebounder, comes in, and those 3 just know their role so well, and it's just a blessing to know that when you go to the bench, you've got any one of those 3 that can come in and play their role and not really miss a beat with any of the other guys.
Davey, your district is pretty tough, and everybody's real solid and good and been back and that kind of thing. And I know you're looking forward to that because it's going to be a challenge each and every game.
It is. I tell you, our beginning of the season, next week we'll play the number 3 team in the state, Pickett County, at home. And then the week following that, we'll pull Richland in, who I think is like number 9 or 10 according to BCAT. So our strength of schedule right now, I tell the guys we're running the gauntlet, and we're really seeing what we're made of early on, and so excited about the games that we have upcoming. But you get into district play, like you said, you have the rivalries. It really doesn't matter what their record is coming into it. They know us. They know our personnel. The coaches know our personnel. So games, are just naturally tougher in the district because of people being familiar with you and your style and your kids, rather than going out there and playing someone you've never played. So district will be tough, but these next 2 weeks for us will be a good test for us to see if we can, improve, live up to expectations that we've put on ourselves, and just stay focused.
And finally, I wanted to say I haven't been to a Friday night basketball game where I wasn't doing it on the radio in probably 10 years. But that crowd, I'm telling you, Eagle's the place to be. It was packed in there last night.
It really is. Unfortunately, our internet's down.
Yeah.
And I know we have a lot of fans that get out and support us, and if they can't get out, they're watching. I hate that, but it is a good opportunity to come and get back into an environment that is energetic. We have a lot of great fans. We have a lot of great support. The guys just, they thrive off that support. We had a great student section last night. We had, it's just a great environment. And if you hadn't been to one, or if you want to come to a great environment, please come out and watch us. The guys and girls are playing well, and we'll do our best to put on a good show. But it's just really a unique, environment if you hadn't been there.
And the people that come back to watch the game, former players, former students, they're all there, aren't they? I mean, that they still come to those games, and they could be graduating from college, and then even older than that. They just love to come to Eagleville to watch a game.
Oh yeah, it takes you back. You get to relive some moments with some former teammates or people you either saw before you played or after you played. So you just get to relive a lot of good moments and then get to cheer on the current players. So it's unique. We've got something special down there, and I think when like you said, when someone comes down there that hasn't been in that environment, you're a little caught off guard because it is a unique place.
Well, Davey, good luck the rest of the way, and we'll be rooting for you, and we'll be talking to you in a couple of weeks.
And thank you so much for your support and coming out and watching the guys.
Hey, I'll be back definitely.
Yes, sir.
That's for sure. That's Coach Davey McLaren, the head coach of the Eagleville Eagles. And when we come back, we're going to have Cougar Corner here on News Radio WGNS.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Experts in joint, bones, and muscles. And with over 65 specialists, TOA has a playbook to get you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life.
And John Dinkins back with you here for Cougar Corner, and we appreciate you guys joining us today. We have MTCS boys basketball coach Greg Eubanks with us here. And Coach, I know it's always an exciting time of year, these first few weeks of basketball, and trying to figure out who's starting, who's going to pick up the pace, who's doing this, who's doing that. So I know you're excited to get going.
Good morning, John. Yeah, thank you, and always great to talk MTCS Cougars and all the different sports. But yeah, we're excited about the start of the season, and really kind of got into it this week where after Thanksgiving break, we had one game before Thanksgiving and then two this past week, and it's been a challenge and it's been good and it's coming together. One of the things about our team that is kind of unique or different is we have 7 of our 12 varsity players weren't on our team last year. So it's been a learning experience, and it's been a new experience. I had a couple of boys who came out this year who hadn't played since middle school, and a transfer. And so it's been, I was thinking about that this morning, is that the challenge has been bringing these boys together and then teaching them how the intricacies of the game in a really short period of time. And so some of that was exposed last night when we tried to do some stuff and just some things that just comes with playing experience. But it's exciting that the kids that we have really good kids, and they're working hard, and we're going to get better as the season goes along. We just talk about the process of trying to get better and never being too high, never being too low, but just showing up every day and grinding.
I know you kind of wish, okay, I could get didn't have so many new players, but at the same time, you're glad to see those numbers come out. I mean, have more people to work with here.
It is good. Yeah, it is good. So we have 20 kids.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
We have 20 kids, 9 through 12. So we have a JV team and a varsity team. We have 20 kids in practice every day. So our practices are very spirited. And we, go through reps as quickly as possible to try to get as much experience, have game experience type action, 5-on-5 type things. So it's great to have that. And then we've got 30 kids involved in our middle school program, grades 5 through 8. And so we have 4 teams in the middle school level and 2 teams the high school level. We have a great group of coaches for our middle school program. So it's exciting and where we're at and what we're doing. So it's just a process, though, that's going to take a long, it's not an overnight process. It's a process that's going to take a long time. And we had a really good summer. We had 3 transfers come in that are playing JV this year, and we're looking forward to when they can, join us in the varsity team next year. So there's some hope and excitement there.
You really do have to have the numbers, and having 20 and then having that JV, and because the more reps they get, the better overall the whole overall program in grade school or whatever it is. I know they have a great elementary program down there at MTCS, and I know that bodes well for the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a whole host of games going on in the gym right now. They go on all day with all our elementary school program. We had last night at our game, we brought all our elementary school teams out and introduced them, and it's just exciting to see that. And it's really cool to see how they were all Cougars, regardless of, from first grade through 12th grade. And that's the unique thing about NTCS is the ability to be at one school and cheer for each other. And our high school kids go to the middle school games, and our middle school kids come to the high school games. And so, I get to know the middle school kids. I'm involved in the tryout process for them and the coaches and that type of thing. So, it's exciting. And our middle school team's doing fantastic. And we have 2 middle schoolers playing on our varsity team this year. So that's an exciting process and a challenge for them. And but they're doing great, and they're learning, what it means to play at the high school level. So that's Dre Tyler and Noah Owens, and they've just been really, really shining here in the first few weeks, and they're getting their feet under them, particularly. Noah Dre had 23 points the other night when we played Ezo Harding on Tuesday, and he was really, really special that night, and really showed why he's playing varsity and all the hard work and the talent that he has. And then Noah Owens really kind of came into, it kind of showed last night what kind of player he can be. He ended up with 10 points. And Noah, in our first game against Donaldson Christian a few weeks ago, he made 3 threes and scored 9 points. And so those 2 guys are going to have a bright future, and they're learning what it means to play against bigger, stronger, older kids. But they're special talents, but most importantly, right, they're special people. They're competitors, and they're good people with good families and good parents. So they have a solid support system for themselves, and so I'm just I'm honored to be their coach, and I'm honored that they're part of our program.
And they have to be kind of special because being as young as they are, to handle the pressures of high school basketball, I mean that's a lot to ask of a couple of kids, and evidently they're handling it very well.
It is a lot to ask, and we got to keep that. Coach Eubanks has to keep that in perspective. But it is a lot to ask, and so that they put a lot of pressure on themselves, but they are competitors, and they, what they play against in the summertime is high level basketball, and so they're used to this. They're just getting the strength of the game. When they're playing against the summertime things, it's maybe not as physical. Or against 18 or 19-year-old kids, and so now it's just a stronger physical game. But they're adjusting, and I'm excited to see what happens over the next few weeks and over the next few months about how they adjust their games to play with the bigger, stronger physical people. But they're special. Again, they're special, and we're great to have them, and it's a lot of ask to them. And we talked it over with their parents, over the summer, and just said, hey, we want to make sure we're on this, and the expectations, what they are, and so they're doing great.
We're talking to Greg Eubanks, the head coach of the Middle Tennessee Christian School Cougars. And, Coach, I'm going to say one more thing about those 2 youngsters. That's got to be super exciting to know how long you're going to have those guys and how well they're doing. Tell us a little bit about your the other guys that you got that are going to see considerable minutes.
Yeah. So one of the transfers we had come in, I'll tell you about his Darian Cotton, and he's a junior, and he did not play at Rockville, but he came over from Rockville. His brother was a really good player at Rockville last year, and now playing in college over at King in East Tennessee, and they are a fantastic family. Just so blessed that they've chosen to come to NTCS, and Darian does all the special things he controls what he can control. He does special things on the court and off the court, but he just wants to win. He's a competitor, and he's doing great things. And we have some guys that came back. Mac Harvey and Eli Cooey and Briggs Boyd are 3 seniors who got significant playing time last year. And Eli Cooey made 4 threes last night. He's really worked on his shooting. He's always been a pretty good shooter, but he's really worked on his shooting to become more consistent in that. And Briggs was the starting quarterback on the football team. And Briggs has an ability to see things on the floor that before they happen. He can anticipate what somebody's going to do or be in the right spot. So he's great at those types of things, of seeing the game and being in the right position. So actually, with our offense, we're doing something a little different than we've done before, but we call Briggs our quarterback. And so because we want to try to get the ball through him, and same way on a football field, you decide to hand it off or pass it or run it yourself. Well, we're trying to get Briggs the ball in the middle of the floor and let him make a decision of what happens next. And so we're trying to emphasize getting the ball to the quarterback and then letting him make a decision out there. And good things happen. We had a couple of possessions last night where when we throw the ball to the quarterback, which is around the free throw line area, then the kids can cut. It's open for back cuts. And we had a couple of really nice possessions. We just got to get more consistent in that. We've had great practices. We had a really good practice week this week. And like I said, our JV team is very competitive with us. I mean, they love to compete. They created their own Instagram page to promote how good they are and how things happen.
That's awesome.
And so the kids are having a good time. And so, but the thing we have to get better at is translating the things we do in practice to the game. Because last night there were certain times when we were running an offense that I haven't seen all year, and so we that's not what we practice. And so we have to get in the mode of not forgetting everything when the lights are on and the crowd is there and the cheerleaders and the band and everything else. We kind of forget and kind of get into a mode of, okay, well, this is how we play. But so that's what we'll practice when we get back on the court on Monday is focusing on, hey, let's just do what we do. And if we do what we do, it would give ourselves a chance in that.
When you're inexperienced like that, you as a coach, I know do you see moments where, okay, for like 3 or 4 minutes, boy, they are playing so well. And then just at the tip of the, just if you look away and you look back, and then they're having 3 of maybe the worst basketball minutes you've ever. Does that happen?
That happened in our DCA game. That happened in our Ezel Harding game, and it happened really at the start of our game last night, where we are right in the game and we're playing well and we're winning and we're doing great things, and then they get a long rebound and they're gone, and we shoot again and they get another long rebound and they're gone, and I'm like, holy smokes, it all happened so fast. And so we just had a couple of bad stretches against Ezel Harding that caused us to get behind a little bit. We gave up 20 points in the first quarter last night against Columbia Academy, and that really set us back. Their player had 3 3-point plays, which doesn't happen very often, but he's big and strong and got to the ball of the basket and had 3 3-point plays to start off the game. And so, but yeah, there's glimpses where you go, wow, we are on it, and we're anticipating the next trap, or we're anticipating the next pass, and we're getting a steal, and we're aggressive. And then there's times where there's a guy standing wide open under the basket, and there's 3 guys looking around going, well, who's guarding that guy? So, and offensively, there was times when we cut really, really hard and we get wide open shots and we nail the 3. And then there's times when we just dribble and 4 guys are standing around. And so it's that consistency. It's the inexperience of our guys that are really will come together but it just takes time. And we're looking forward to next week because we have 3 games next week, and there'll be 2 of them are district games, and there'll be tremendous challenges. And then we play at Nashville Christian next Saturday, and that's we're in the football championships on Thursday. So, who knows what, I think they'll be very athletic, but, so we're looking forward to a chance to play next week and just continue to get better. And honestly, we're looking for, just trying to get a little bit better. And so when we hit January, hopefully we're playing cohesively and learning from experience in that. So we've spent a lot of time this year, more time than I've spent in years past, right, watching film, because we're just having to do a lot of teaching in that, and then keeping our practices as active as possible, where guys get as many reps as possible so they can learn how to do things.
Well, Coach, you're a positive guy. I know that from just I've met you a couple of times and talked to you on many occasions. They've got the right guy for this job, and but I do look at your district and I go, wow, it's pretty tough, isn't it?
It is tough. And I was talking to a friend of mine in Chattanooga, and he was talking about his district, and they have a couple of good teams, and some not so good teams, and then even our other district, Good Pasture's really, really good, and that Friendship Christian's really, really good, but there's some weaker teams over there. But we watched some USN film, who we play next Friday, and they've got a guy that's getting recruited by Trevecca and some other Division II schools, a kid who's about 6'8", and really, really talented. He gotten better. They have some really good guards. Webb is very athletic, and they have a senior transfer who looks to be about 6'7" or 6'8". Columbia Academy played football Thursday night, and then had a couple of guys come out last night. That makes them very good, and their point guard's going to Trevecca, and then Arnett Hayes over at BGA is an unbelievable athlete, and BGA's loaded, and then the other school at the other end of the Murfreesboro Airport is just really, really tall and athletic, and so it's a challenge every single night. And we're going to embrace it, and we're going to take a long-term view of it, and we're going to work at it. And really the challenge is, I'm not coaching any of those teams, and I'm coaching our boys. And so our challenge as a coaching staff is, how do we get our boys to be as successful as possible? And that's what we're trying to figure out is what's our best style of play? How do we get our 2 8th grade guards out in open space? Because we really have to play, we have to throw curveballs in a fastball league is what we talk about sometimes. We have to be different, because to line up and try to go against the teams in our district that are, taller and bigger and stronger and older than us, well, that's not going to work. And so we have to figure out how to be different enough to give ourselves a chance to win every night.
Well, Coach, good luck this season, and we'll be talking to you soon. A couple of weeks, okay?
Couple of weeks. That sounds good. We'll have an update for you, and we'll be hopefully all my Christmas. Well, somebody asked me the other day, who's finished with their Christmas shopping? And I raised my hand, and they looked at me and said, "You don't do any Christmas shopping, do you?" I said, "No, I sure don't." My wife does all of that.
Yeah. When do you have time to do any Christmas shopping? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I just let her do it, and when the kids open the presents, I'm as surprised as they are. So it's a beautiful thing.
I love it. Coach, appreciate it. That's Coach Greg Eubanks, the head coach of the Middle Tennessee Christian School Cougars, and that's going to do it for Cougar Corner. A little abbreviated today because of what's coming up, but we'll be talking to both coaches very soon. Don't forget, tonight we will have our high school championship game, Oakland against Houston. Game time will be at 6 o'clock. Our pregame show will start at 5:30. For John Dinkins, Brian Barrett, and Danny Brewer, and our studio engineer, Dalton Barrett, this is Cougar Corner, and we'll see you next week.
It's a Blue Raider game day, and the Blue Raider Network is on the air. Today's MTSU women's basketball game is just 30 minutes away, and the Blue Raider game day coverage begins with Countdown to Tip-Off. Countdown to Tip-Off is presented by Window World of Murfreesboro, the official window and exterior remodeling company of Blue Raider Athletics. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, official team physicians for Blue Raider Athletics. Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics. Ascension St. Thomas Rutherford, the official hospital partner for MTSU Athletics. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. And by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Now, here's the voice of the Lady Raiders, Jeff Fisher.
Nashville, Tennessee. This is Middle Tennessee Lady Raider basketball. And today a matchup of the Lady Raiders and the Bruins from Belmont University. I'm Joe Fisher. Great to be with you. Great to be joined by my broadcast partner, Kyle Turnham. Been a while, partner.
It has. It's been way too long. Glad to be back.
Well, a lot has transpired since we were last together.
That's correct.
Middle Tennessee is 7-2 on the season, coming off the 85-41 win over SIUE. Belmont, boy, you look at this. Belmont's 4-4, but look who they played.
Misleading.
Michigan, Duke, Ohio State, Kansas State, all their 4 losses. It's a good basketball team we're going to see today.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it's one of those games that you cannot look at the numbers that gives you an indication of what type of ability that they have. That being said, I feel like if we come down and play Lady Raider basketball, we're going to be in great shape because we are a force to be reckoned with.
Well, Belmont's had their number recently, won 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams, so we'll see how that plays out today. With nearly 200 majors and concentrations for undergrads, more than 100 graduate programs, Middle Tennessee State University has something for everyone, including more than 50 online degrees. Do you want a high-quality, affordable education? It's not too late to apply. Learn more at mtsu.edu. Pre-game show continues in a moment. This is Lady Raider basketball from Van Wagner.
City Auto Mitsubishi is your hometown dealer for new Mitsubishi models like Outlander, Eclipse Cross, and Mirage. See all the new Mitsubishi models and save today. Remember, City Auto is still your volume used car dealer with a huge selection of quality pre-owned inventory. Win with City Auto's great selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs from more than 35 brands. City Auto, Bridge Avenue off Old Fort Parkway. Go Blue Raiders.
When it comes to money, I'm a saver.
Me too. Though I can also be a bit of a spender.
Well, Ascend has got you both covered. With our interest-earning checking, you can
earn interest so I can save money for my beach trip?
Sure. And with our rewards checking, you can
get cash back for my purchases? Tap reward?
Yep. So no matter how you handle your money, Ascend Federal Credit Union has the right checking account for you. Interest-earning checking earns 3.56% annual percentage yield up to $15,000. Some restrictions apply.
You've changed thousands of diapers, cut off hundreds of crusts, played hours of peekaboo and duck, duck, goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. Hello, I'm State Farm Agent Deb Insel, and I can help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Pepsi Zero Sugar has taken its flavor to the next level. A Zero Sugar Cola has never tasted this good. But we don't expect you to take our word for it, so we're putting it to the test, starting with me. My mouth is watering already, so I think we can skip the drum roll and get right to the main event. Cue the fireworks. We have an official best Zero Sugar ever. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's so good you'll need to try it for yourself. Trust me. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero never tasted so good. That's what I like.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in supporting and treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes, providing expert treatment of injuries to bones, joints, or muscles. TOA's team of orthopedic specialists can get you back in the game. Same-day appointments and walk-ins are welcome. Injured? Visit one of our many ortho urgent cares, or to make an appointment, call 1-855-NEED-TOA or visit www.toa.com. TOA, the official team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics.
Rutherford County's MTSU station, News Radio WGNS.
Getting set for Belmont and Middle Tennessee. Let's take a look at teams around the conference, brought to you by Hampton Inn and Suites Murfreesboro. Old-fashioned Southern hospitality and contemporary comfort at a great rate. Located at 325 North Thompson Lane in Murfreesboro. Western Kentucky still the only undefeated team at 7-0 in the conference. Percentage-wise, UTEP is next at 4-1. On the season, only played 5 games so far. Middle Tennessee 7-2, Jacksonville State, Sam Houston 4-2, Louisiana Tech and New Mexico State and Liberty each 4-3, Kennesaw State 2-4, and FIU is 2-5. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll get a scouting report on the Bruins of Belmont from Associate Head Coach Matt Insel. That's next. This is Lady Raider basketball from Van Wagner.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in supporting and treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes, providing expert treatment of injuries to bones, joints, or muscles. TOA's team of orthopedic specialists can get you back in the game. Same-day appointments and walk-ins are welcome. Injured? Visit one of our many ortho urgent cares, or to make an appointment, call 1-855-NEED-TOA or visit www.toa.com. TOA, the official team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics.
Pepsi Zero Sugar has taken its flavor to the next level. A Zero Sugar Cola has never tasted this good. But we don't expect you to take our word for it, so we're putting it to the test. Starting with me. My mouth is watering already, so I think we can skip the drum roll and get right to the main event. Cue the fireworks. We have an official best Zero Sugar ever. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's so good you'll need to try it for yourself. Trust me. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero never tasted so good. That's what I like.
Bucks, cash, bread, coin, dough, bank, loot, cheddar, whatever you call it, the Cash Instant games from the Tennessee Lottery have lots of it. 4 great games absolutely loaded to the brim with top prizes from $50 to $1,000. Now that's a whole lot of cabbage. Moolah, cheese, dinero, Benjamins. Well, you get the idea. Only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU Athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company for over 80 years. Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown.
RoscoeBrown.com. With the game on the line and the shot clock winding down, the Blue Raiders pass the ball to the most proven player on the floor to make the game winner. As the Nashville area's proven John Deere equipment dealer and proud sponsor of Middle Tennessee basketball, Tri-Green Equipment is wide open and ready to make the game-winning play for your property season after season. Stop by in-store today or visit us online at trigreen.com. Go Blue Raiders.
The Blue Raiders play here. News Radio WGNS.
Time now for a scouting report on Belmont. We're joined by Associate Head Coach Matt Insel. First, hey, you're going to be riding in a parade, I hear.
Yeah, the Grand Marshal of the Murfreesboro Parade. It's, I think my kids are more excited than I am, so it'll be a fun day.
Well, playing Belmont hasn't been fun recently. They've done a good job against you guys, haven't they?
They have. The last 2 times here, they've done a really good job, and we have not played well here, and they have. And when you don't play well, and you're playing a team, and when you look at the net rankings, it's a top 65 team. You're going to lose, and so hopefully we'll play better today. When we played them at home the last time, we were pretty dominant in that game, but we're not at home today. We're down here for the 2nd straight year, and there's been a lot of talk why we're coming 2 straight years here. The reason why is because of COVID. There was games canceled, and so they ended up coming to us for 2 straight years. So now we came to them for 2 straight years.
Well, when I look at them, they don't seem to have a dominant player, but they seem to have great balance.
They're a very balanced team. They're not very deep. They're similar to us, where they're going to play their main 5 to 6 players, and they're very balanced. They move the ball very well. They offensively, they're going to run a lot of motion, getting a lot of different players involved. That can present some problems for us, and because they play 4 guards 90% of the time. Mm-hmm. So now our 4 players are going to be guarding guards, and they don't play them as 4 players playing 4 guards. They play them as guards in their offense, and so that can be an adjustment for us and something that we worked on the last 2 days.
Tell us about a couple of their players that you have the most attention on.
Kendall Holmes is somebody that we know very well. She's somebody that we recruited out of the transfer portal, and she's so great shooter, a hard-nosed, fundamental, disciplined player. She's their leading scorer, and so she's someone that we're going to have to pay a lot of attention to. Jalen to guard that matchup, and then Cheeseman hurt us last year down here, shooting a 3 from a 5 spot. She's a knockdown 3-point shooter. That's something we've had to put a lot of emphasis on this week. Is Nastia, you can't stay back in the lane. You have to get out on this kid, especially in picking pops. And then when Nas has to help, our other girls have got to be ready to rotate to her because she is a shooter.
It's interesting because both these teams don't go very deep.
So that tells me foul trouble could be a significant thing.
It was last year. I mean, it was 21-21 in the second quarter, and we're down 38-23 at halftime, and that has to do with Jalen and Anastasia both getting 3 fouls there in the first half. They don't play the last 4 minutes of the second quarter. They go on a 15-0 run. And so that's a big thing that we have to be cautious of, is making sure that we don't get over-aggressive and get in some foul trouble.
Play well.
Thank you.
We'll have more in a moment. This is Lady Raider basketball from Van Wagner.
Looking for the ultimate hangout spot? Head to Cedar Glade Brews. With 12 taps and over 100 bottles and cans, we've got craft beer, seltzer, mead, kombucha, cider, non-alcoholic, and craft soda for everyone. We're family and dog friendly, featuring food trucks, live music, and trivia nights. Plus, you can book our space for private events inside or on our spacious patio.
Blue Raider fans enjoy a Cedar Glade brew in the Murphy's Center Beer Garden.
Purveyors of foamy goodness, Cedar Glade Brews, where great times and good vibes await.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing. Update your information and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
At State Farm, when home and auto work as a team, you score and save money. I'm State Farm agent Andy Wama. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let's work together to win big by saving money on home and auto. With the service you get from State Farm, you might think our car insurance costs more. I'm State Farm agent Andy Wama. Give me a call at 615-890-0850 and let me show you with discounts up to 40%. You may find it even costs less.
It's never lost on Window World that your home is your largest physical investment. Window World's integrity can be noticed from your very first moment of contact. The clean, professional installation of premium windows, siding, doors, and more are designed to last while leaving your home looking amazing. Window World and their lifetime warranty will always be there when it really matters. They're America's most trusted remodeler and a proud partner of Middle Tennessee State University Athletics, because the difference is integrity and always in the detail.
WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports.
Well, Rick, I mentioned Matt when we talked before the scouting report, the honor of being a Grand Marshal in a Christmas parade for you coming up tomorrow.
That's a first. You know, I don't know what my mom and dad or my grandparents would say. They're all from the Rutherford County area. Yeah. So, you know, the Christmas parade's been a deal in Murfreesboro for centuries, I guess. Yeah. But it's a big honor. It's a big honor, and, you know, gives us a little break away from basketball.
Before we talk specifically about this game, last game, and you mentioned it in our post game, Blakely played very well, probably her best game of the year. Seemed to be under control, steady. I mean, I know you're looking for more of that.
Well, that keeps us in the game, you know, when Courtney's able to run her basketball team on the floor like she did the other day. That makes us a very dangerous club. And I told her that was one of her better games. I think she ended up with maybe 8 points and maybe 8 assists and 4 rebounds. And, you know, and that was she didn't play a whole lot either because we played a lot of our other players. Right. But I was real proud of the way she played the other day.
Well, Belmont's kind of been a thorn in your side recently, haven't they?
Well, they've got a good team. Bart does a good job. They recruit a lot like we recruit. They've got to. I mean, we can't go out and get top players in America, but we can get kids maybe that deserve to be in the top players in America and work them and get them to the point. I think he lost some of his players to the transfer portal. Right. And in our case, we lost a couple, but still, you know, their club's similar to ours, but he does a good job. They, when we came here last year, I think they shot like 60-something% from three. I think they hit 14 threes, 13 or 14 threes. Just one of those things. Next thing you know, it's out of hand.
So what is your concern with them today?
Well, I'm more concerned about what we're going to do. I'm pretty excited about today. I want to see how our club will come to a gym like Belmont's got here, right down the road, and they know, our kids know that they've got a good team. I want to see how we show up. Do we show up today, or do we come in there and do like we did last year? We didn't play real good defense last year. We gave up too many shots, uncontested shots, and they were able to take advantage of it. If they do the same thing today, we'll get beat. Now let's hope that we've grown up a little bit in the last couple of weeks. We've had they have played a tough schedule too. They may have played a tougher schedule than us, Joe.
And to go, their schedule is quite daunting. But talk about style of play. How do you want this game to be played?
Well, I want to get up and down the floor.
Yeah.
I want our kids to get up and down the floor. I want to be able to take some uncontested threes. I want Nasia to have a good game inside also. If she has a good game inside, Cab runs the ball team, we knock down shots, we're going to be in great shape today. And I think that's the MO of our basketball team right there. I think coming in, people know you got to help with Nasia, and you got to hope that Jalen and Tamia don't get off. And then Cab's kind of the one that the straw that stirs the drink kind of. She comes in and she gets the ball to those people and she does her thing. She plays great defense. We're going to be pretty good.
Our pregame visit with the Coach Insel brought to you by the Daily News Journal. Read about all Blue Raider sports in the Daily News Journal. The DNJ is Rutherford County's first source for news, sports, and much more. Stay with us. We'll get you the starting lineups, getting ready for Middle Tennessee and Belmont coming up from the Curb Center in Nashville. This is Lady Raider basketball from Van Wagner.
Plan ahead and plan for success. Put Lee Company on your team for all your facility and home maintenance needs. They are proud to be an official partner of the MTSU Blue Raiders and have serviced homes and businesses for 80 years. For the very best heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000. Visit them at leecompany.com or call 615-867-1000.
Las Casas Drugs is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, located at 4702 Las Casas Pike, just minutes from Murfreesboro. Las Casas Drugs strives to provide all of your pharmaceutical needs in that hometown atmosphere you deserve. Family-owned and operated, Las Casas Drugs offers free delivery, immunizations, drive-through window, gift shop, merchandise, and medication management programs. Come by and see how we can make a difference. And go Blue Raiders.
MT Dining is eating made easy. With more than 19 dining locations, you will never run out of variety on campus. Whether it's Chick-fil-A, Subway, or Starbucks, we've got the brands you love right here. Need a quick snack or Scantron? Stop by one of the 5 pods on campus and try out MT Dining's new Farm to Fork experience. Farmers Market, now open, located in the Student Union. Visit mtdining.com for more information or visit our office in the Keithley University Center, room 202.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing. Update your information and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
City Auto Mitsubishi is your hometown dealer for new Mitsubishi models like Outlander, Eclipse Cross, and Mirage. See all the new Mitsubishi models and save today. Remember, City Auto is still your volume used car dealer with a huge selection of quality pre-owned inventory. Win with City Auto's great selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs from more than 35 brands. City Auto, Bridge Avenue off Old Fort Parkway. Go Blue Raiders!
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic is proud to be the official medical group of MTSU Athletics. We all win big when we work as a team for better health. Just like MTSU's athletes and coaches, our healthcare professionals work tirelessly to make our community proud. At MMC, we really are true blue. MTSU is our hometown team, and your health is our mission. Visit mmclinic.com or call us at 615-893-4480.
You're listening to MTSU Sports on WGNS.
Well, the record in this series depends on who you ask. If you ask Middle Tennessee, they will tell you that they lead the overall series 17-4. If you ask Belmont, they will tell you the series is 19-15 in favor of Middle Tennessee. Now, you got to remember, Belmont was not always Division I. They had the time when they were NAIA, and I think some games were considered games that counted by Middle Tennessee and some that didn't. So nonetheless, a bit of a discrepancy between the two.
Well, as long as we've got the upper hand on both discrepancies, I feel good about that.
Well, Belmont's had the upper hand recently, though. They've won 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams. Our injury report brought to you by the law offices of John Day, Murfreesboro's personal injury law firm, and a proud sponsor of the Blue Raiders. And great to be this far along in the season, Kyle, and no significant injuries for the Blue Raiders to have to worry about.
Yes, certainly it's as Middle is still trying to grow their bench, so to speak. It's great to not have to grow your bench, particularly against seasoned teams like Belmont. And again, don't let that 4-4 record fool you. It's come against a really difficult schedule.
Our starting lineups brought to you by Ascend Federal Credit Union. Show your MTSU pride with every purchase. Visit an Ascend branch. Ask for your MTSU branded debit card. Ascend is the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics. Ascend is insured by NCUA. For the Lady Raiders of Middle Tennessee, 7-2 on the season, same starting 5 as all year. Number 1, Courtney Blakely, 5'8" senior, Gary, Indiana, 11 points, 3 rebounds per game. Number 2, Anastasia Boldareva, 6'7" junior, out of Moscow, Russia. She is now the leading scorer, 16.2 points, 8 rebounds per game. Number 10, Jalen Gregory, 5'8" junior, Lafayette, Tennessee, 13 points, 4 rebounds per game. Number 15, Tamia Scott, 6-foot sophomore out of Clarksville, 15 points, 5 boards. And number 21, Alina Arike, 6'2" redshirt senior from Helsinki, Finland. Rick Insel in his 20th year as the head coach of the Lady Raiders, 470 and 158. Associate head coach Matt Insel, assistants Kim Bruton, Nina Davis, who's celebrating a birthday today, Tom Hodges, and Courtney Whitson. For the Bruins of Belmont, 4-4 on the season. Number 0 is Tootie Jones, 5'7" graduate student from Troy, Alabama, 6 points, 3 rebounds per game. And what you'll notice is the balance in their stats. Number 14, Kendall Cheeseman, 6'2" senior out of Tampa, transfer from Vanderbilt, 7 points, 5.5 rebounds. Number 21, Emily LaChapelle, 5'11" junior, Appleton, Wisconsin, transfer from Marquette, averaging almost 11 points and 3 rebounds. Number 23, Jalen Banks, 5'9" sophomore from Spring Hill, Tennessee, 10 points, 3.5 rebounds. And number 33, Carmen Harrison, a 6'2" senior from Memphis, Tennessee, 9 points, 6 rebounds. Bart Brooks has done a nice job at Belmont in his 8th season, 176 and 59. Kyle, we talked about Belmont. You look at their scheduling, and Coach Insel mentioned it in our pregame visit. They may have played a tougher schedule than Middle has so far. When you look at Duke, Michigan, Ohio State, Kansas State, Davidson, I mean, they've run an early gauntlet.
They certainly have, and the strength of schedule numbers haven't come out yet like the net shows. But, again, when you do look at the net rankings, Middle Tennessee comes in at 52, Belmont at 64. So now when you're 4-4, but your net is 64, that tells you who you play.
Yeah, obviously so. So we'll see what happens here. Looking forward to a good one in this wonderful facility here, the Curb Events Center on the campus of Belmont University, just outside of downtown Nashville. Middle Tennessee will be wearing the blue jerseys and shorts today with blue and Raiders down each side of the shorts. Belmont in the home white jerseys and shorts, red numerals and lettering trimmed in blue. Stay with us. Looking forward to this one. It's Middle Tennessee and Belmont. This is Lady Raider basketball from Van Wagner.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU Athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company for over 80 years. Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name for heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown.
RoscoeBrown.com.
RJ Young is no longer just your office copier supplier. We are now helping you create the modern office. Our cutting-edge solutions cover security systems, business phones, managed IT, and AV technology for your organization. We've teamed up with world-class partners to save you more through building services, and our U.S.-based specialists are your personal coaches, making sure you always have the highest degree of personalization.
Blue Raider fans, Lightning's Locker Room, powered by Textbook Brokers, is the place to get your Blue Raider gear. Open Monday through Friday from 8 to 6 and Saturday 10 to 4. Lightning's Locker Room is just across the street from Floyd Stadium at 1321 Greenland Drive. It has all the MT polos, hoodies, t-shirts, hats, and all the other game day gear you'll ever need. See the selection online at mtsugear.com or in Murphy Center on game days. Lightning's Locker Room, the official game day provider, powered by Textbook Brokers.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in supporting and treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes, providing expert treatment of injuries to bones, joints, or muscles. TOA's team of orthopedic specialists can get you back in the game. Same-day appointments and walk-ins are welcome. Injured? Visit one of our many ortho urgent cares, or to make an appointment, call 1-855-NEED-TOA or visit www.toa.com. TOA, the official team doctor for Blue Raider Athletics.
Pepsi Zero Sugar has taken its flavor to the next level. A Zero Sugar Cola has never tasted this good. But we don't expect you to take our word for it, so we're putting it to the test. Starting with me. My mouth is watering already, so I think we can skip the drum roll and get right to the main event. Cue the fireworks. We have an official best Zero Sugar ever. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's so good you'll need to try it for yourself. Trust me. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero never tasted so good. That's what I like.
Middle Tennessee Electric proudly supports the Blue Raiders, and we're proud to power the scoreboard lights at Murphy Center. When it comes to the electric service in the community, you can always trust MTE to do what's best for our members. We serve by providing affordable, reliable, safe electricity and outstanding member services. Here at MTE, we serve to make life better for our members and their communities. Visit MTE.com to learn more. And about that scoreboard, well, light it up, Blue Raiders.
It's the golden anniversary of Middle Tennessee women's basketball. Season number 50 of Lady Raider Basketball is presented by Window World of Murfreesboro, the official window and exterior remodeling company of Blue Raider Athletics. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, official team physicians for Blue Raider Athletics. Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics. Ascension St. Thomas Rutherford, the official hospital partner for MTSU Athletics. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. And by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Now, here's the voice of the Lady Raiders, Shelby Fisher.
Live from the Curb Event Center in Nashville, Tennessee, this is Middle Tennessee Lady Raider basketball. Today, getting set for tip-off between the Lady Raiders of Middle Tennessee and the Bruins of Belmont. Joe Fisher, great to be with you. Great to be joined once again by Kyle Turnham here courtside. Kyle's pulling double duty on a doubleheader day because the men will, this is the old true doubleheader. Ladies playing first and the men playing about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. So hopefully you'll be able to stick around and join Chip Walters and Kyle for the men's game that will follow this one. Middle Tennessee 7-2 on the season. Belmont 4-4, but that's deceiving. They have played an extremely difficult schedule. And interesting, Kyle, this is another one of those teams, and I looked at the numbers for Belmont. Very balanced. No player has scored 20 in a game this season. They really share the basketball.
Well, and I think it looks a lot like Middle Tennessee's roster, to be honest with you. And I think those are the teams that are the toughest to defend because they have any number of players that can contribute. And let's cut to the chase. When you have to guard all 5 positions, it really stresses and stretches your defense.
Interesting hearing Coach Insel talk about it, and And hearing Matt Insel in the scouting report stressing for Boulder Rava, she cannot just sit back in the lane on this 5-player. She's got to get out on the perimeter because this 5-player can shoot.
Yeah, Belmont's going to run basically a 5-out offense, and you're starting to see these type of offenses really sort of take over college basketball. Yeah. People are getting the post players away from the basket. You're seeing a lot more passing, cutting, a little bit more freelance, and the low post position has almost become obsolete.
Interesting. Of course, Boulder Raven can shoot the 3 as well. So Belmont's got to pay attention to that too.
Yeah, they do. Middle, for the most part, is always going to have a singular post. It's not a standardized 4-out, 1 in. You're going to get a lot of interchange with your 4 and your 5, where both Anastasia and Alina can go in there and post up and do damage inside. But studies in contrast without question.
You mentioned earlier, and I had really not paid a lot of attention until you mentioned it. It's a little chilly in here. And it almost feels like there's a little bit of a breeze in here.
It is chilly, and there is a breeze. You can actually feel it. And I will just tell you, from a coach's standpoint, that is not something that I'm ever going to support in a gym. I don't think that players need to be playing in a cold or a cool gym, certainly one with a breeze, because one of the things that happens is when you quit playing, even through a dead ball situation or through a media timeout, you cool off really quickly. Just not a fan. I just think basketball is meant to be played in warm places.
You could talk to some Vanderbilt people about playing in Memorial Gym in November.
Oh, there's no doubt.
or summer camp. Oh, my gosh. Our broadcast vantage point for you, we're right beside the Middle Tennessee bench.